people. Happy Friday. It is Friday the 7th of March. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. As always, I am one of your hosts for today, my own royalty. Apologies for the late start of the broadcast. Just important things happening behind the scenes. So apologies about that. Brent is here, of course, as always.
Good morning. Thank you so much for your patience, everybody.
Thank
I know
you
that
very
it's a
much.
whole
Appreciate
hour
y'all.
that y'all were waiting. We apologize. Let's see. Let's have a roll call. Samuel, my good man. Energy, Igor, Mr. Ashlows, Bex, Dr. Amani, Timmy, Imi Snow Globe, Abimi, Gin and Gist, Nams, Vaughn. Who have we got? Demi, Antonia Hansen, T, Ephraim, Catherine. I love that name.
I love that. Yeah, Catherine's such a pretty name.
Iman B, Izzy Bambino, Maggie. Who else we got? Iman. I said that. Proverbs. Ooh. TT. Who else we got here? Akuya. Mercy, Prestige, Nightfall. I think that may be. Oh, there's more. I'm scrolling. Jesus Christ. Bathroom Diaries, Ghana Greatness, Noreen, Nikki, 9 Ether, Natty, Akos, A, G7, Ed, Crucial J, S, Awiz. Hope I didn't butcher that. Awiz. Johannes, all right, so let's see. Maggie, the Q&A you posted on IG was so good. We need to see you more on camera. Thank you very much, Maggie.
What Q&A?
I tagged you in it, but obviously you've blocked me on IG. It's the last question I'm putting up of the envelope campaign, even though I've got bare more like.
Oh, yours! Yes.
Yeah. So obviously we're gonna be making an announcement soon. So I just wanted to put me up before I make the announcement. Didn't it?
Yeah, fair. That would be good.
Yeah.
That would be helpful. People know who the announcement's coming from.
Yeah, and like everybody was liking it and then leaving comments and whatnot.
Yeah, I was in the comments, but I haven't had. Never, I'm strict my sleep schedule.
You know how many? This guy Michael is so funny. Each time he's supposed to come and record his part for.
Oh yeah.
I've gone to Italy. Just flying.
Love it for him, but come on, bro.
Then he will come back and say, "Can you do now?" I was like, "What are you talking about? It's 11:30, bro."
Yeah.
Anyway, he'll be part of the next one. So.
Love it.
Oops.
It's alright. Is that your phone?
Yeah. What else have I got to say? What else have I got to say? So, I'm so excited. I stayed up really, 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 really late. Well, early.
Yeah.
This morning, trying to do something that I had in my head regarding this unit, this Rodecaster Pro, right?
Yeah.
It was just a theory in my head, and I had 2 cables, and Esther got it done.
But George, he did it.
Esther, I got it done.
That's lit.
At 3:30 is when it is.
Oh wow!
I finished, but the only hiccup now is. Did you hear the intro just now?
Yeah, it was low.
Very low, right?
Yeah.
That's now something I now have to address. If you put the headphones on, it's fine, but I don't want you all to have your routine disrupted.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And it's the only thing now that I have to solve. But outside of that,
you did it.
Oh my gosh! And I'm not even gonna spill the beans or something. I can't because
I can't.
I haven't seen anybody on the internet.
Oh, love it!
So I want to make a tutorial video.
Yeah.
And then put it up so that obviously other people can basically
learn from it. Yeah.
If I'm there such and trying to get this done and nobody had the answers and I've got the answer now, I got a free up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Oh,
have to
nice.
free it
Love
up,
that.
man.
Are you
Anywho,
gonna do a voiceover?
yeah. I'll put my face in it.
Even the non-tech people are gonna watch it. The non-tech girlies.
Anybody who has the setup I have and wants to do that particular
No,
thing,
you missed what I'm saying. Headlines. It's funny. It's even lower than the intro was.
it's much lower.
All right. So our headlines. I'll just go through all of them. Yeah.
Yes, please.
There's one that's really, really upset me. So we'll get to it. But okay. So first headline: Reform UK is facing a split at the top. At the top, after Nigel Farage called one of his most prominent MPs utterly, completely wrong for calling him the messianic leader of a protest party. Farage hit out at Rupert Lowe after the great Yarmouth MP and former Southampton FC chair criticised his leadership publicly in an interview. Lowe, who was touted as a replacement leader by Elon Musk earlier this year, had said reform needed a proper plan, more policy, and spokespeople. He also suggested he could leave the party unless it was centered less. He also suggested he could leave the party unless it was centered less around Farage's messianic leadership. The MP's criticism comes after internal reform speculation about tensions with Farage, especially after Musk's interview. Asked by the Daily Mail if Farage could make a great prime minister, Lowe said it's too early to know whether Nigel will deliver the goods. He can only deliver if he surrounds himself with the right people. Nigel was a fiercely independent individual and is extremely good at what he has done so far. He has good messianic qualities. Will those messianic qualities distill into sage leadership? I don't know. Farage responded to Lowe in an interview on Talk TV by saying he was utterly, completely wrong about reform being a protest party. He also pointed out that Lowe was already on the front bench of the party, adding, perhaps he wants to be Prime Minister. Half the House of Commons do. Fair. Next headline. US President Donald Trump has signed orders significantly expanding the goods exempted from his new tariffs on Canada and Mexico that were imposed this week. It is the second time in 2 days that Trump has rolled back his taxes on imports from America's two biggest trade partners, measures that have raised uncertainty for businesses and worried financial markets. On Wednesday, he said he would temporarily spare car makers from 25% import levies just a day after they came into effect. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum thanked Trump for the move, while Canada's finance minister said the country would in turn hold off on its threatened second round of retaliatory tariffs on US products. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said on Thursday morning he had a colourful conversation about tariffs in a phone call with Trump. The US president used profane language more than once during Wednesday's heated exchange, according to US and Canadian media reports. Trudeau told reporters that a trade war between the two allies was likely for the foreseeable future, despite some targeted relief. Next headline takes us to Russia. Or Ukraine, possibly. Volodymyr Zelensky says he will travel to Saudi Arabia next week, where talks between Ukrainian and US officials aimed at ending the war will take place. The Ukrainian president hopes it will be a meaningful meeting and says he will work constructively with Trump to reach a fast and lasting peace. US envoy Steve Witkoff says the American team wants to discuss a framework for peace to try to end the war. At a summit in Brussels, Zelensky called on European leaders to support steps he has outlined for building a full and fair end to the fighting. Ukraine's energy and gas infrastructure came under massive missile and drone shelling by Russia overnight, according to the country's energy minister. The Polish military said it scrambled fighter jets and activated ground-based air defense systems during the attack. Next headline. A proposed bill in the UK to ban smartphones in schools, initially aiming for a mobile-free environment and stricter regulations on social media algorithms, has been significantly weakened to secure government support. The revised bill now focuses on research into the impact of social media on children and guidance for parents, dropping the outright ban on smartphones in schools. While the MP behind the bill, Josh McAllister, remains optimistic about government support for these revised measures, campaigners criticise the watered-down version as insufficient. This shift comes despite growing concerns about the negative effects of smartphone use on children's mental health, as highlighted by recent reports showing majority support among young people for stricter social media rules. Next headline. The widow of a former postmaster, Terry Waters, who died before receiving full compensation for his involvement in the Post Office Horizon scandal, is calling for faster payments. Waters, one of many postmasters, wrongly accused of financial discrepancies, received a compensation offer days after his death, far less than claimed, prompting his widow to speak out. Despite the government's claim of doubling redress payments and making offers to 89% of claimants within 40 days, hundreds are still waiting for full compensation, with over 250 victims reportedly dying before receiving it. The widow, Janet Waters, plans to delay scattering her husband's ashes until full compensation is received and is considering contacting King Charles to expedite the process. Our next one, trigger warning, and this is the one that really, really upset me yesterday. Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, a Nigerian senator, was suspended for 6 months after submitting a petition accusing Senate President Godswill Akpabio of sexual harassment, a claim Akpabio denies. Following a procedural dismissal of a petition, the Senate Ethics Committee recommended the suspension, citing ridicule brought upon the upper chamber, despite some senators advocating for a shorter suspension. The suspension has sparked outrage amongst women's rights activists and social media users who view it as a setback for women's rights in Nigeria, particularly given the low representation of women in the Senate and the lack of a thorough investigation into the sexual harassment allegations. I feel upset again. I'm so I'm just honestly, I was so upset yesterday. It actually made me cry. I was just really upset. So basically, this lady by the name of Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, she's a Senate, right, in Nigeria. In the House of Senate, there's only 4 women, Brent.
Only 4?
Only
How
4
many
women.
altogether in the assembly?
It's like 90-something.
Whoa.
Only 4 women, right? So this started, I feel like it's been ongoing for a while, but I guess publicly started last week, where she walked out or something like that. Basically, she was trying to present a motion or whatever. So she is a senator, I believe, for Kogi State, is that in the north? And she wanted to present something or whatever, and she basically was just shunned and ignored. And it started with, they basically rearranging the seats or whatever, and they were going to move her. But she didn't know that she was going to move. There was no prior conversation about it. And so when you think about how it is that her treatment over time, then she gets there and you're telling her you can't sit there, go and sit there. So that just basically escalated how she was feeling. And she was just like, it just became a thing.
Yeah.
It became like a back and forth in the House of Senate, whatever it was. She said she refused to move and all that kind of stuff, blah, blah. Obviously the news picked it up, blah, blah. And then she's basically said how the Senate president, so she's filed sexual harassment against him. Before she actually officially filed, she went on a news program or whatever, a Rise TV or whatever, and she talked about that video that went viral about the whole seat thing, blah, blah, and she explained the situation and why it happened the way it did and why she was annoyed, blah, blah, blah. And she just said how she's also been mistreated for so long. So her husband is friends with that president, right? The Senate president. And they're cool or whatever, but he's basically, the reason why she's filed sexual harassment against him is because she's alleging that for him to consider certain things she wants to pass for her people, her community or whatever, he's been out here talking about she needs to give him favours if he's going to give her favours back. In other words, sexual favours.
Boy.
Despite that, I'm not saying that because he's friends with the husband means that he can't do that, because we know how sexual assault happens. It doesn't matter who you're friends with or whatever the case is, but it's just the height of inappropriateness kind of thing. So she is basically saying that the reason why he doesn't listen to her, the reason why she gets ignored in the house and all these things happen is because she has refused to accept his advances. Where he's talking about, meet me here, let's do this and let's do that. So she detailed one scenario where she said how it was him, the Senate president was there, and her husband and her, whatever the case was, and they were talking about something, but her husband was like standing a few feet behind or whatever, and he basically said to her, like, you know, if you want, this is the basically just making those comments at her. But she just was like, oh no, like don't speak to me like that. But obviously in the shock of the moment of like, is he saying what I think he's trying to say? But she was visibly uncomfortable, whatever the case was. Her husband noticed that his wife was visibly uncomfortable. So when they left the man, when they parted away, he said to her, like, what did he say to you? She's like, oh, no, it's nothing. She didn't want to tell him. She's just thinking they're really close friends. But she's thinking, am I being dramatic or whatever? So she's like, oh, no, like he was just talking about work, blah, blah, blah. But the husband knew that because her demeanor changed. So he knew that something, it must be something serious. Yeah. So he later on asked her again, like, what was it that you guys, what he said? And she was like, oh no, like, it's just work things. She's like, oh, don't worry. Like, if anything, I would tell you, blah, blah, blah. Like, just again, brushed it off. But she was like, that night when they were in bed, he was just like to her, like, if anything, like, if you ever need to tell me anything, you can. Yeah. But then he also said to her, like, don't ever be alone in a room with him. Don't go on private business trips with him. Don't fly out of the country with him. Don't ever be in a situation where it's just you and him. Yeah. That is what his friend said about him to his wife. Yeah. So obviously she's then filed the sexual harassment thing. So I watched part of the live trial yesterday, I guess you call it. Would you believe that the man that's been accused of sexual assault, Brent, is the one that led the hearing?
Impossible.
I promise you, Brent.
Impossible.
Brent, I promise you. She's accused the Senate president of sexual harassment to do with their work, her colleague. And the person that is chairing the trial is the person that's been accused. But also there's that. And then also she's had no support whatsoever from anybody in there. There's 4 women in there. All those women have come out. The 3 other women have come out to say that, oh, she's being dramatic. Oh this goodness. Is da-da-da-da-da. Brent, this woman sat by, not one man has come forward to be on her side. Not one woman has come forward to be on her side. She literally sat, so in the house yesterday, they all sat there. She was alone on her row, just her, speaking for herself and whatever the case was. All these people they're all giving their opinions and giving their views or whatever, blah, 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 blah. They also wanted to suspend her and whatnot. And then they're all just literally, excuse my profanity, they're all just sucking the Senate president's dick. They're all just singing his praises. And the thing is, sometimes, like, I love being Nigerian so much, but it's just, sometimes our culture is just so backwards that it's just like, I can't believe it for the life of me. I can't believe, like, I was watching what I was watching yesterday, and I couldn't for the life of me believe that what I was watching was real. People are in there speaking praises of the Senate president saying, oh, you're such a lovely man. You really show up for people. You really support people. The things you're being accused of, there's just no way you could have done that. This is what they're saying in a trial about sexual harassment, and they're saying it directly to the person that's been accused, and then speaking down on her and saying that what she needs to do is apologize. They're even saying, so obviously in Nigerian culture, like discipline, which I don't agree with for the most part anyway, but the way they physically discipline people and blah, 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 they're saying, oh, you know, when you smack your child with your left hand, you use the right hand to hug the child and make amends. That's what you two need to do. You're telling a woman that is a victim of sexual harassment that what she needs to do is apologize to the abuser, essentially. Some stupid fool got up. He's even quoting the Bible, saying, "Oh yeah, you 10,000 will fall at your right, the 100,000 at your left, but nothing will happen to you because your God is watching." This is a political. This is people meant to be running the country, saying all of that stuff. And then when they're all done now, she's like, "Can I speak?" The man aired her because now he wants to read the judgment. As in, the person that's been accused of sexual harassment is about to read the judgment. She says, "Can I speak?" He ignores her. Completely airs her, doesn't let her speak. He then goes to reading, I guess, the charges against her and whether they have to do the ayes or the nays, right? Reads the first one. I can't remember what the first one was, but the second one was basically for her to write an apology letter. And I really pray that she doesn't. I really, really pray she doesn't. But I feel like sometimes people feel like they have to be inside. They have to be within the system to make changes. So even if she does, it's not a thing where she should be criticized for it. But I really pray she doesn't. So anyway, the second prayer was that, which is what they call it. The second prayer was for whether she should have to write a written apology to him, to the House of Senate for embarrassing them because the media picked it up, and also to him or whatever. And then he reads it out, and everyone says nay. In other words, she shouldn't have to write it. This man goes, I don't think you guys understood what I just read. I don't think they understand. And you know what's mad as well? Like, people are saying, like, he's talking, he's laughing, he's giggling, like, he's not taking it seriously. Like, this is a joke to him. Because, of course, in what world is he going to sit there and say, yes, I find myself guilty for sexually harassing you? He reads it 3 times until he gets the desired eyes that he needs to get. Couldn't believe it. The ethics committee that's meant to look into whether, first of all, whether she can be suspended, which the Senate, you can't suspend your colleague. Imagine me suspending Marks.
It's a conflict of interest.
It's a conflict of interest. It doesn't work like that. So the ethics committee were meant to assess these things, that she can't be suspended for one, for even bringing this forward. Yeah. She can't be suspended or wherever else. And also how the trial should be had, who should do it, wherever. You would not believe when I tell you that the chair of the ethics committee stood up and was the one who suggested that she be suspended for 6 months. I just,
This is the love of money at play here.
So there's also speculation saying that, and I will say speculation because I don't have actual facts of it, but they're saying that the Senate president, he's proper buddies with the president of the country. So that's why he's got the bravado that he's got. Because in any normal society, and a lot of them are like lawyers and whatever, there's no way that in law, you can't accuse somebody of something and then ask the person that then sits and chairs the case against them, about them. That it doesn't make sense. But then also in any normal functioning society, what should have happened as soon as that sexual harassment came in was that he's on he's on leave. Yeah. Whether that's paid, unpaid, whatever the case is, but he's on leave pending investigation. Brent, they're done. Suspended the woman for 6 months, and she said, what did she say? She said the injustice. I need to get exactly what she said. Sorry, because I posted on my story. It made me so sad because for 1 year, even her. Yeah, she said this injustice will not be sustained, and then they turned off her mic before she could say anything else. And it's just so sad because for 1 year, like, I can't imagine her bravery. In an ideal world, something like this should be, it is monumental that she's done it. It's absolutely monumental because Nigeria, unfortunately, has a culture that enables pedophilia, enables sexual harassment, enables sexual violence, all these things against women. I'm not saying that men don't go through these things, absolutely not saying that. But right now, I'm talking about a woman and I know women's business, so I'm going to focus on women's business that I'm talking about, right? Just before anyone starts getting their thumb in a bunch. But Nigeria has a culture that enables that in every kind of way. The way girls are raised, we've talked about it in the show before, where you're raised to, like, don't be around that uncle. If you know that uncle is not safe, why do you want your children? Why are you telling your child not to be around that person when you should just remove that person from there? Don't dress this way. Don't do this. Don't do that. It's very, 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 very victim blaming culture. It's absolutely crazy. So for her to have even done something like this, and the thing is, it's so sad because yes, this is something to do with the House of Senate, but this is reflecting every other area, every other industry, every other office, every other workplace. It is literally a reflection of society at large, Nigerian culture at large. So it's iconic that she's done what she's done, that she was brave enough to speak up, that even though she had no support whatsoever from all the other women, from the 3 other women in the Senate, who were literally saying, they were going on news platforms and saying horrible things about her and saying, oh, this, that, and the other, like, it's not that deep and it's just jokes and he's probably just joking. What do you mean you're inviting me to a hotel and you're telling me that that's a joke? What kind of joke is that? So it's brave that she's even stood up and said that. It's amazing and incredibly brave that she's done that. And the sad part is that I'm happy that she has her husband's support and it's sad that I even have to say that, because there's other women who face these things regularly that don't have husbands. So, like, what is that reality like for them? Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's just, honestly, it's just so sad. Like, I don't even have the words. It made me really, really upset. It just really, really triggered me because, like, the way certain Nigerian men hate feminists, they can't stand feminists. They're angry at the idea that women just want to be seen as human beings. They're angry at the fact that there's women that want to work. They're angry at the fact that there's women that earn more than their partners. Like, there's some people that work here where they earn more than their husbands, and what they do, they get the HR to create false pay slips because they can't go home with. It's making me so upset.
That is crazy. That is mental. And I want to know is it because you're westernized? Because I know there's lawlessness and there's corruption in every single country, right? Especially here in the West. But to have this publicized and then not be some sort of public backlash.
There was protests, Brent.
They will protest.
There were protests, and there's protests, obviously, like, in favor of her. But there's protests in favor of him as well.
In favor of him?
Ask me who was at the protest.
Men.
Women.
Oh, no. Serious?
There were older women of older generation, because of course it would be them. Older generation. And you know what's mad? They didn't even know why. Some of them didn't even know why they were protesting, Brent.
What are you talking about?
The media, one of the news outlets asked one of the women what she's protesting about. She said, "Oh, I want him to win." Like, she's like, I just want him to win the election. Like,
oh my goodness,
it's not an election happening.
Yeah. This is.
And I think, and
this is not true.
Brent.
Yes, it's not true. It's not true.
She said she wanted him to win the election, and they were like, "It's not an election happening." And she's like, wherever it is, she just wants him to win. There's another woman who was saying, "Oh, that's somebody's husband."
Oh my.
Who is she? He doesn't like her. They didn't catch them in bed kissing. They didn't catch them in a hotel. What does she mean? He likes her. He has his wife. He has grandchildren. He has children. These were the reasons why she thinks that man should have won. And obviously, these people are paid. And that is the problem with Nigerian elections and stuff, where there can never be, whenever there's, I think you remember when me and Iman talked about the last election, how the obvious candidate was a man called Peter Obi, because he was younger, like he also was. Wait,
hold on a second. This is so and I shouldn't be laughing at this juncture. But when you rightfully just started, expressing yourself, I changed to this thing here.
Yeah.
My hand is in my pocket, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because of what I told you at the beginning of the show,
right?
Yeah. Because it's breakthrough, it flipped back to you. Because she started talking. There was audible motion over there. And I just clocked. Can you imagine? This
Not your system overriding you.
I told you the devil was hard. But hey, in the long run, it's going to weigh out. This is more good than bad.
Oh, dear. It's fine anyway. I don't mind people see me cry.
I know
it's fine.
Clock, I need to basically...
you have to find out how to override what you created.
And it should be slightly...
It feels like... It literally feels like...
Little bucks to the system.
It feels like your robot is now trying to overthrow you.
Back in the book.
But obviously, and that's the thing with Nigerian elections as well, is that's what. So basically, with the last election, that's what the issue was. So Peter Obi, he's Igbo, but the policies and the things that he was coming through make sense for a better Nigeria that everyone keeps shouting that they want. However, the Tinubu is Yoruba, and that's why the election then became a thing of rather than being a thing of who can advance the country, who can do what, it became a tribal thing. There is no reason why Tinubu should be the president. Like, people don't deep that. When I was in primary school in Nigeria, in primary school, because my granddad was a political advisor, and basically, so in the area that we lived in, so my granddad was like in the army, blah, 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 but he was a proper big on integrity, right? So the party, the what's it called? Political party meetings was always held at my house. So whenever there was a candidate who wanted to win against that sector, you basically come and see him and talk to him about your policies and blah, 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 and see if you can get his cosign, because then you can have a meeting and with everybody else and see what they're saying, blah, 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 blah. So I remember this man coming to my house as a child. Like, I was in primary school. I am now a 30-year-old woman, and I have lived, and by the way, P.S., my granddad did not like him. My granddad didn't like him. My granddad was alive. He wouldn't have voted for him. He was not in support of him. No, because he realised what the guy was, right? But I have now grown as an adult. I'm even old enough to have children. And in my lifetime, I have seen this man go from being, he was a governor, by the way. He won the Lagos State, he was Lagos State governor back then when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I've now grown up as an adult and seen him come back to now be the president of the country. Which, by the way, apparently I found out this morning that he's a CIA informant. I did not know that.
Serious?
I thought it was a conspiracy people were saying. So apparently, allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly before they block my next visit. But allegedly, he was like a drug lord and whatnot. Like the current president of the country, right?
Yeah.
Drug lord, blah, 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 whatever. And then he claims that was it Harvard? I think I think it's Yale or Harvard. He claims that he went to study there, blah, blah. But obviously, there's been a thing, okay, where's your certificate? Because when we look at the Harvard and Yale archive, your name don't come up in there.
Yeah.
So where is blah, blah, blah? But my mum was telling me this morning that apparently America was asked for is that his documents and whatnot.
Yeah.
And apparently they didn't give it because they said that he's actually an informant for them. The CIA informant.
Wow.
Didn't know
makes
that.
sense then.
Didn't know that.
That makes
But then also there's also the thing about
sense.
I believe, right, the West wants to keep African countries down.
Yeah.
So I don't know whose bidding he's doing while he's in there. But it ain't for the people of Nigeria. So again, with the elections and stuff like that, when parties want to win and say you want to win a certain area or whatever,
Yeah.
do you know what they do? They give people money. And not life-changing money, Brent. Change. They give them like a bag of rice.
Yeah, I remember your telling
Remember
me
we were saying that?
Yeah.
So obviously the women that were protesting yesterday, the older women were protesting, of course, in one way or shape or form, you've obviously would have been bribed with something. Because they're out on the streets. And then also the people that were protesting for Senator Natasha, tear gas was used on them. Not the people that were protesting for Papio though. Not the people that are protesting for the man that's been accused of it though. It just breaks my heart, man. Like every week there's some kind of news about a woman that's been killed in the most inhumane, disgusting way. There's some kind of thing about a man who beat his wife to death. Like there was a guy in December. I don't know if anyone else watching it would have seen this, but there was a guy who I think he basically talks about different areas of Nigerian law, whatever.
Yeah.
And he decided that what he was going to use his platform for was to tell the world that in Nigeria, it is not illegal for you to rape your wife.
What?
And he's right. It's not legal for you. It's not seen as rape. It's not legal for you to rape your wife. I just can't. It just made me really upset because it's so, like, any woman around the world, whatever society you're in, even if it's the most liberal society, if you can come forward to say that you have been sexually assaulted, sexually harassed, whatever the case is, that takes bravery. That takes a different level of bravery to do that. And I'm not saying women who haven't found their voice to do that, you're not brave. Yeah. You also are, because you're a survivor of that. But it takes a different level of bravery. But I just cannot for a second imagine what it's like for her, how isolating it is for you to do that in a place where there's only 4 women and the other 3 women speak down about you. They talk against you. They literally go on news platforms to berate you. And it's mad. Like, the conditioning, the mindset is so deeply ingrained. I was watching a video just before I started recording about how even when she was running to be a senator in her state, they were calling her Nashawa, which is basically like a prostitute, because she's young and pretty. She's gorgeous. She's a gorgeous babe. But they were just like, oh no, like they just didn't want to see a woman there. Do you know how hard it is for a woman to be a senator? There's 4 of them. She's the youngest one, I believe. She's the youngest one. The other 4 are older. It's a hard place to get into.
And be principled as well.
And be principled. And then, so I can't imagine what it was like for her to sit in that massive room. Her husband was outside waiting for her. And before they went in, he kissed her and obviously wished her good luck or whatever. The news carried that. Some of her colleagues in there, when they were making the testaments or whatever, they were mocking the fact that she's out there kissing.
Can you imagine?
But apparently there was some other senator one time that had his 4 wives up in there and no one said a damn thing. If she wasn't married, it's mad because as bad as this is, if she wasn't married, it'd be worse. That's the maddest thing. If she wasn't married, it'd be worse. Honestly, it was just so sad. Like, actually watching watching it in real time and hearing the things they're saying, hearing the testimonies they're giving, it was sad. To not have one person. There was one person that she's mentioned called her whatever, but then he called her like, oh, like just checking on you, blah, blah, and then said, oh, you know, imagine saying to this, because this threw me, this knocked me down for 6. Imagine saying to someone who's accusing someone of sexual harassment, what do you gain by him being fired? That's what the man said to her. The man that posed as if he was going to call in and check in on her. And then when he was giving his testimony yesterday, he made a point to say that, yes, I called her, blah, 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 but I also said this as if like, just to be clear that I'm on your side, Senate President.
That, I can see people doing that. I can see people saying, you know that this place is run off of money. And you know that it's never going to change. So if you are willing to lose your job, then go ahead. But you're not going to change anything.
Yep.
So weigh that up. I can picture people actually saying that.
But you know what? Her job is different though.
Mad.
He's saying his job. It wasn't her job he was talking about. He's talking about the Senate President's job. He's saying to her, what good is it to you? What do you benefit by him being fired? By the man you've accused being fired? He didn't care about her job.
No, I think I understand that too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because, like, he's asking her.
But that will be changed though, because if he gets fired, he basically said, then what? Yeah. And then what?
Yeah, that's what he said. And then what?
I feel bad for her, man. Honestly, it made it made me so disemotional yesterday, because I was just like, this is just so horrible.
I'd be proud of her though.
I'm extremely proud of her, Brent.
So proud of her.
I'm extremely proud of her. Like, I'm extremely proud.
Yeah,
like,
man.
to know the culture, to know the way my culture is,
Yes.
to know the way Nigeria is, to know these things, and for her to stand up. Like, I don't have enough words to just say how proud of her and how iconic. And I just pray so many women, young and older, will just feel inspired and will always think, whatever situation they might be in, just be like, do you know what? Senator Natasha stood up. I can do it too. I mean, like, I don't have the words to say to just express how truly proud of her I am, because that was not easy. And she walked out with her head held high.
100%.
It was horrible, man. Anyway, that's that headline, child.
That was that was amazing. Thank you very much. Learned a lot about Nigeria and that.
I've got 3 more. Should I just do the last trigger one and we can do the dynamics?
Yes, please.
Okay, so trigger warning. Sorry.
You want to take a minute before you continue?
Nah, I'm here now.
All right, then.
We're here now. Let's go. So, trigger warning of killings and sexual assault. Oh, this sick guy. Oh, yes, I remember him. So, triple killer. Do you know how mad that is? Triple killer Kyle Clifford has been convicted of raping his ex-partner in an attack which saw him murder her and her sister with a crossbow and their mother with a butcher's knife. I don't know if you guys remember this a few months back. The 26-year-old was found guilty by a jury at Cambridge Crown Court after around 45 minutes, accepting the prosecution's case that the rape on Louise Hunt was a violent sexual act of spite. Clifford was tried in his absence after refusing to leave his cell at HMP Belmarsh, the court was told. The defendant became enraged when his 25-year-old ex-girlfriend Louise ended their 18-month relationship, leading him to carefully plan the July 9th murders. Clifford gained access to the family home by deceiving 61-year-old Carol Hunt, the wife of BBC racing commentator John Hunt, before stabbing her to death in a brutal knife attack. After killing Carol, the defendant then lay in wait for an hour for Louise to enter the house before restraining, raping, and ultimately murdering her with a crossbow. He then fatally shot 28-year-old Hannah Hunt when she returned to the property in the quiet cul-de-sac of Ashland Close in Bushey, Hertfordshire after work. Clifford previously admitted 3 counts of murder, 1 of false imprisonment against Louise, and 2 counts of possession of offensive weapons, the crossbow and the knife. Prosecutors said the violent misogyny promoted by controversial social media influencer Andrew Tate fueled Clifford's attacks. Clifford searched for Tate's podcast less than 24 hours before the murders, the court was told. You see when people talk about the red pill thing and people talk about misogyny and people want to just reduce it to just it being gender wars and all that stuff. Is very harmful. Have you seen that? I think it's called adolescent. How do you say that word? Adolescent. I think it is. Adolescent. It's on. What is it on? Is it on Amazon or Prime or Netflix? It's got Ashley Waters in it. I wonder where I've seen the trailer. The receipts guy was talking about it, actually.
Yeah, I've heard a couple of people.
Yeah, I saw the trailer. I'm gonna watch it because the guy is a 13-year-old boy that commits murder and stuff like that. So I'm gonna watch it actually this weekend to see what happens.
Okay.
But it's same borough. Trigger warning on the next one as well. Sudan has filed a case against the UAE at the International Court of Justice, alleging the UAE's complicity in the genocide of Masalit community in West Darfur through military, financial, and political support for the Rapid Support Forces, the RSF. The Sudanese government claims the UAE's actions fueled the rebellion and supported the militia responsible for the alleged genocide, demanding full reparations for the harm caused. The UAE vehemently, I love that word. I feel like I say it wrong. Vehemently, denies these accusations, calling them a cynical publicity stunt and asserting that the allegations lack legal or factual basis, while the ICJ's advisory opinion, though not legally binding, holds significant political weight amidst Sudan's devastating civil war and humanitarian crisis. And last headline for today, trigger one as well. A study published in the New England Journal of Medicine suggests bacterial vaginosis (BV), a common vaginal condition, may be a sexually transmitted infection, challenging the current NHS view. The Australian trial showed treating both partners with antibiotics significantly reduced BV recurrence, highlighting the potential for reinfection from partners. This finding led to changes in clinical practice at the Melbourne Sexual Health Centre, and experts agreed that the research provides valuable evidence supporting the STI classification of BV in recurrent cases. That's all our headlines for today. It's time to pay some bills. Let's get into asking for a friend.
Let us do that. Do I have the thing? Yeah, I'll have this one. Solution for that as well.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, just ordered it. So. Whoops. No, this is wrong.
That was ages ago.
This is wrong. Hold up.
Oh, from the screen.
Yeah. There we go.
Ed's thing looks like that boy's painting.
That's why he chose it.
Oh, is it? Jokes.
That's not it.
Oh, big up Ed though. Okay, so our first dilemma is by someone who's 8:35. Trigger warning. Today's a day. It's Happy Friday. Trigger warning. There's mention of sex here, so please help as well. So hey guys, I just want to update you. I still haven't spoken to my wife yet, but I found out that's more than just big, bold black men in my wife's porn collection. When was this? I must have been away.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, majority of the stuff she has are like AI or fake fan-made naked photos or videos of black celebrities. I haven't gone through them all for obvious reasons, but it seems to be that she has a thing for male athletes and their butts. The more I dig, the more curious and confused I am. I mean, I guess this is her private stuff, but what I found is so disturbing and eyebrow-raising. I'm starting to get paranoid, and it's making me even think about who and what she thinks about during intimate times. I mean, is this classed as cheating? Is what class as in like her watching the porn and stuff? Or fantasizing about other men?
I think he had found a folder labeled porn.
A folder?
On her device. Maybe it's the iCloud or something. I can't remember all the details. But in there were naked pictures of him and exes. Yeah. It was the whole thing.
And what was his thing? Like, how to deal with it? This is his wife. You gotta talk about it. So here's my thing, yeah, when it comes to like porn and stuff. I know that it's normalized to people and people watch porn and blah, 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 blah. So I'll put that to the side.
I watch porn.
Yeah, but I'll put that to the side. But I think that in cases where, I just feel like in marriages, you have to talk about these things. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like your partner's sexual desires that you might not be into and all that. I just think these things need to be talked about. I feel like a folder of porn. First of all, I don't know why your ex is in there. Get them out. First things first. I find that highly inappropriate. I find the porn folder highly inappropriate. But
bear in mind, he didn't know she took the pictures of him. No consent.
And that's brings her. This is how, yeah. I think that he needs to have a conversation with her. Respectfully, she needs to get help.
He's got a problem.
This is not normal. It's not normal. I feel like the porn thing, because it's interesting when you read like psychology studies and just people's thoughts on porn and how it manifests in real life and how it plays a part in people's real lives. It does do something. It alters your brain in certain ways. And I think that she's a porn addict. She's a porn addict. I don't know how much you guys have sex. I don't know how much it is that she wants to have sex, but not saying they're exclusive, but she might be a sex addict too. She needs to get help. This is not right. I don't think he should. First of all, you need to address the fact that she took pictures of you without your consent. That's crazy. I don't care if you're my partner or not. Consent in marriage is a thing. For sex, for nudity, for anything. Consent is a thing. So he needs to have a conversation with her about that anyway. But I do think that you need to talk about this thing, because I think sometimes as well with porn addictions and stuff like that, it does come from somewhere. Sometimes, not all the time. It does come from like child abuse sometimes, or all that kind of. It can come from somewhere. Or maybe she left one addiction and moved to another. But he needs to talk to her. He needs to talk to her. And even if you feel like you can't talk to her by yourself, then maybe speak to a professional and then look at having do you know what I mean? A conversation with a professional present.
All right.
But I don't think you should just live with this.
So here's your context, right?
Yeah, please.
I found out that my wife has a porn folder on her computer and on her phone. She logged into her iCloud on my computer because hers is broken and all photos and files accidentally have been backed up on mine. Whilst I was trying to delete them all, I saw a folder labeled porn and I saw it all. To be fair, it's not all porn. There's some pictures she's taken of me naked, which I had no idea about, by the way. But there's also naked photos of her exes on there as well. There's pictures and videos of all these older, dark black men that look nothing like me with large appendages. I didn't know she had this, and she doesn't know that I've seen this, but I was wondering if I should feel a way about this and if I should bring it up. What should I do? That is the context.
You gotta bring it up, man. You gotta bring it up. You have to bring it up. I think you gotta bring first. The first of the exes thing, I don't know why that's happening. Delete. But I think she has a porn addiction, and these are the kind of things. It will affect your marriage. It will affect the kind of family life you have. It will affect yourself. It will affect everything, and it's dangerous to leave people with addictions without addressing it. You can leave them, as in you feel like you don't have the capacity anymore. You can remove yourself from the marriage. I'm not against that. If you feel like you can't anymore and they refuse to get help and blah blah blah, but he does need to address it. This is not, respectfully, this is not normal. It's not okay. It's not okay to take pictures of your partner without their consent and then put it in a folder. Anything could happen to that folder. Do you get what I mean? You're an egg, you know. Are you aware of that? Morning, you man.
Come on. This guy started.
So what are you responding to, Manuel? What is she referred to?
I have no idea.
But yet you want to bad mouth me?
My eyes, it's not in my head. I can see your face.
I wasn't doing anything.
I can only hear one ear.
Said,
Don't worry about that. You're not doing anything wrong.
To be fair, actually, you thought that was the solution. you thought Brent has done something iconic, basically, with the system or whatnot.
Okay.
But he thought that, so the transitions are a bit low in volume, but he thought wearing headphones was the solution.
No, the thing
Alas.
is, I like that you've now told me that, because
There's something to look
I
into.
do have a solution for this, but now I've been made aware of this new issue,
Yeah.
and I'll fix it. I'll fix it.
Love that.
Yeah, yeah,
Is it? I'll fix it.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, babes. Love and light to you. I'm so sorry that you're dealing with this, but I do think that a conversation needs to happen, and it can't just be a conversation where you just say to her, don't like reduce how much you watch porn and blah blah blah. Like a professional needs to be involved. A professional has to be involved. She has to trace and look into the roots of why it is that. Are you trying to see if it works the way you wanted it, the way you did earlier? But you might say something. Tell people good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Was it you or did you do it?
No, I didn't do
That's good. Love that.
What happened?
Keep talking. Oh no, man. Okay. Never mind.
I'll tell you afterwards.
Alright.
But yeah, I do think this can affect. I don't know if they've got kids as well. Like, it's just not it, man. I don't like the way people talk about porn. Like it's just scrolling on Twitter. It's deep, you know. It's a deep thing. It's a very, very deep thing, and it can affect people's lives. And yeah, so babes, please speak to her about it. I wouldn't say I don't think it's classed as cheating. It's highly emotionally inappropriate. But I wouldn't say it's cheating. But I think it can be harmful. So yeah. Love and light, babes. Do you have anything to add?
No.
No? Okay. Next one. This person's age 28. Just saw this is long as well. Okay, let's see. Just saw Tuesday's episode, LOL. Just to clarify, I already have a girlfriend, LOL. Who is this Delamo now?
All right, you need context also.
Was I here on Tuesday? Oh no, I wasn't. It was my hair day.
Let's see. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I feel a bit dodgy and sad about my female friends. I have a group of female friends that I've known for a while, and I introduced them to one of my boys not too long ago.
Okay.
My boy and those female friends got along really well, and they're good friends now. The thing is, I know, he knows, and practically everyone else knows he's typically the more handsome, good-looking archetype.
Okay.
He's literally a part-time model and gets compliments by women all the time. I'm not jealous, by the way, but it's just an acknowledgement. The relationship with my female friends has sort of stayed the same, or even if anything dwindled, and the relationship with them and him has grown super strong. It's to the point where they're in group chats together, going out together, doing TikToks together, and from the outside looking in, their relationship has blossomed. I'm a bit jealous of that because it's just like, even when I'm around them, I see they make way more of an effort to do things with him than they do or did with me. And it's almost like I've become a side or a third wheel in the friendship. Honestly, I think it's because he's better looking than me. That's why they make more of an effort to do more friend stuff with him than they do or did with me. And I just feel like it's not a nice way to see the foundation of a friendship. In essence, they've seen him, but have been way more intentional and intense in their relationship, growing as friendship than they ever did with me. I genuinely think the difference is because they thought he was good looking. I'm sure they both don't fancy him or have a crush on him though. Even we go out. I think that meant even when we go out, they always give him compliments on his appearance and never give me any. That's not that deep, but it's just like from that point onwards, I'm third wheeling and it'd be nice to hear a genuine compliment, even if it's just to boost my self-esteem. Imagine if Esther and Gina came in every day and always say, Marks and Iman look good, and ask them to go out and really say it to Iman. I think maybe Brent was supposed to be in there somewhere. I think Iman would notice and clock it, but not see it as that deep. That's kind of how I feel. And before you say or suggest anything, my mate's not gay. If anything, he's a bit feminine or not as masculine or has a more soft side than majority of the man them. But he's not gay. I'd highly doubt it. And even if he was, it still won't change that much for me. I remember one of the girls did an IG Q&A a while back, and she called me, and the other guy one of her guy best friends and the other day. Whoa. The same question was asked and she just put him. Whoa. It was a horrible feeling, I can't lie. It felt like I had been forgotten, but I hadn't done anything wrong. Am I tweaking or are my observations correct? Do women have more leniency or make more of an effort to grow and obtain opposite sex relationships with men that are more attractive? What should I do to stop this feeling I have?
Sorry, it's just I'm stuck on like his feminine, but then that doesn't make you think of Saucy Santana for some reason. Because Saucy is one of the girls. But Saucy said he's not gay. Anyway, forget that. Okay, so this is now an update to that, right?
Yes.
Says, just saw Tuesday's episode, LOL. Just to clarify, I already have a girlfriend, LOL. And you need to make that thing pick up when he does that. I already have a girlfriend, LOL, and we spend plenty of time together. It's just that I don't have many female friends. And to see two of my close friends, and to see two of my close female friends that I valued a lot arguably see more value in another guy as a friend is really hard to see, especially when, from my standpoint, there was no major drastic change which caused this shift. People want to have friends, but they also judge off looks first. One can look at someone and I be like, that person looks interesting, and be eager to get to know them more than someone else who doesn't have that look, but could be a better suited friend. And I kind of sort of felt like this was a bit similar. I never asked what was going on, but I just observed over time there was a trend that they liked being around him more. Like when we would go to parties, they would take pictures with him first and nearly wrap up and be done. And then they would just remember to add me in the photos at the end. I don't want to seem insecure, but it's really sad how it's panned out. Maybe it's his looks, or maybe they see his life as more interesting, and that is or was the gateway for them to spending more time with him, and is what's keeping them around him more. I guess the overarching question I wanted to ask was, is there pretty privilege in opposite sex friendships? Ask Mark, he's got a hell of female friends. Would more women see me as someone they'd want to get to know or have as a friend if I was better looking to begin with? Side note, what I meant to ask was, imagine if Esther and Gina always came in and gave Brent and Mark genuine compliments on their appearance, but never gave any to E-Man, and it was like this since the day TDA started until the current. I promise you, man would notice. I would have noticed, no care. I think E-Man would eventually realize they're wrong. And that's basically what it was like for me. I assume this is going to be read on another day when everyone else is in. So maybe you can update them on my old submitted Original Dilemma on Tuesday with Lauren. Pick up Lauren as well. I miss Lauren. I've missed Lauren every time she's here. I've never met Lauren. Have I? No, I did at the Ned. Yeah. I did. I really appreciate hers and everyone else's input. I don't necessarily think you're insecure because you notice these things. Like, it makes sense for you to have close friends, and then you introduce these close friends to a new friend, and then now all of y'all hang together and not telling me. I don't think that makes you insecure. That just makes you human because you've noticed stuff. But I do think, I know you said there was no major shift, but when did you get your girlfriend? That you don't see it as a major shift. That could have been a major shift. And if the other guy is single, regardless of who he likes or whatnot, they can be more comfortable and like a bit freer with him. I think it's an interesting thing. When people get in relationships, some people, obviously not generalizing, but some people just tend to kind of step back. I noticed it especially with marriage. Because married people are always like, oh my gosh, why don't you guys invite me out? And they're like, oh, well, you're married now. And they're like, yeah, but I still want to come. But I noticed it with relationships, so people assume that because you're now in a relationship, that's all, like, that's your focus. Just be with that person, blah, blah, blah. So maybe it is that. Maybe it's just a thing where they feel like because you're in a relationship, they've just unconsciously stepped back. Or maybe they feel like it's inappropriate to be, I don't know. But depending on when you go in a relationship, that might be a factor to it. But also as well, just tell them. I don't even people and talk about things anymore. Tell them. If I had felt left out with my friends making plans and I would say that I feel left out. Why don't you guys ever invite me to places? Or when we invite you, I feel like a third wheel. Just have a conversation with them and just be real with it. I don't think it makes you emotional. I don't think it makes you anything other than you care about the friendships that you have and you want to spend more time with your friends and they're not doing that, so you want to just bring that up. I think you should do that. That's my solution. But yeah.
I'm sorry.
God,
I don't want to be negative, innit?
you just don't care about things like that.
I'll answer what's going on with these guys nowadays, man.
But it's friendship though. He's nurturing a friendship. Everyone needs friends.
Trigger warning.
Oh no.
I'm about to be toxic.
Oh no.
Why are men caring about such foolishness?
Friends.
Plus he's got a girl at home.
About friendships.
What? With
What
girls?
if Moses was became besties with Brent, and you and Moses used to go out wherever, and all of a sudden now they're leaving you out. Now you're going on Instagram and you're seeing Brent. Brent doesn't even usually like pictures anything.
But
he
these
and
are-
Moses are doing peace sign.
No, it's different because these are women. Yes.
Yeah, but the guy is the guy. The male friend that he brought in. I think, to be honest, yeah, if your friend is straight, yeah, he's having a weird of a time.
This guy, I think this guy watches man too much, I think.
You think so?
100%. He's too emotional. He's a hater. That's the worst of his
He's not a
sides.
hater.
He's a hater.
For no one.
Why can't your friends see this new guy and be friends with? Why can't you be happy for their new budding relationship?
Because it's like
You've had them for how many years?
that's the thing as well. To be fair, because yeah, that's another thing. Because I do find that interesting. Even as a woman, when female friends are like, I'm like, shut up, man. Like, I find stuff like that a bit. Like, I just feel like you don't own people. Like, you don't own your friends, so it's okay. Like, your friends are allowed to make friends with other people. Like, I've had friends who I introduce them to each other. Like, they're both individually my friends. Introduce them to each other, and then they became besties.
100%.
Everybody like I was glad. I was glad there was someone else to do the plans because I thought, thank God, baby's tired.
This is diabolical. There's other things. How old is this guy again?
He's got a girlfriend as well, you know.
And how old is he?
28.
He can't be. He's behaving like a 16-year-old.
I'll be honest.
And
I'll be
even at
honest.
16,
Yeah.
we didn't do that.
Because I'm 29 and a half, and I stopped caring at age 16 about friendships. Yeah, it's tricky, man.
Last week, yeah. On Tuesday.
Yeah.
I think one of my things was he should go out there, socialize, and get more girls in it.
That's why I came today and said I got a girlfriend.
Exactly. Can you imagine? So I don't like to talk on people's situations.
Yeah.
Like this, yeah. But I don't even want to.
What you're gonna say is boring relationship?
It might be. But
Because
I don't.
I'm not
understand.
being funny, but usually people say that when people get in relationships, they abandon the rest of their friends. So that's, do you know what I mean? Like, and they're so wrapped up in their world that they forget their other friends.
This is diabolical.
I don't know.
I don't
man.
understand how. So basically, he's jealous, yeah, of this new guy spending. It's not even like he's romantically or doing anything with these women. You know?
But you know what I think
he
it
just
is
wants
as
to
well,
spend
though?
time with them.
I think it is. I think
come
what it is as well, though. I think, like, he enjoyed being the only guy in the group. So, but do you know? I think he misses the attention he got from the women. I think he misses.
It's just. I don't want to sound too toxic.
Yeah,
It's just that type of attention.
but that's the thing. I think he misses it though.
Come on, man.
Because you know that when you're in a relationship, I don't know what people do in their relationships. I'm not going to talk about. I'm going to do Ira style. I don't know what people. I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. But some people in the relationship, the longer you're together, your partner is not as excited to see you come through the door anymore.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
hear it.
routine. Do you get what I mean? So I think that he gets a lot of excitement, possibly, from the female friends. Like whenever they see him, they're excited. Hey, there's a man around. They're excited. So because the other guy's there now, basically the attention he would usually get from all his female friends, the other guy gets it now. And so he might feel like he's not getting enough attention. Because I'll be real with you, you saying you got a girlfriend and this is your worry, no judgment or anything, but that does throw me for a little bit. Actually, I'm not going to say. I was going to say maybe his girlfriend says that, but I don't know. But I think he misses the attention from his female friends. Because there is something about like a group of friends and there being a guy there. I'm not saying it's about your female friends, but there's a pick me thing, spirit that lays in some people. And so they tend to treat men better. Remember I was telling you guys about the whole UK hairdressers thing?
Yeah.
They always ask women to blow dry our hair. And you can't just blow dry it. You have to blow dry and make sure it's straight. Nearly this straight. In natural kinky hair. But do you know what they do for the men? Like if you don't blow dry your hair, they charge like £25. Do you know what they do?
Oh.
They blow dry the men's hair. Some of them even helping him wash it.
Maybe he misses that.
I think he misses his hair being washed. I think he misses the attention that he was getting from his female friends. And the dynamic is different now. I don't know what advice I could give you other than I think for one, put into your relationship a lot more. Not obviously you can have friends outside of relationships, but I honestly think but obviously put into a relationship anyway. But I honestly think you have a conversation with your friends. I think just say to them you feel left out. You don't really feel like you're part of the group anymore. I think that's a conversation to have. Speak to them about it and just and see what happens. That's what you can do.
Take this as an opportunity to find a different group as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, have more than one group. Have your group with the girls for
But
some
also
reason
though,
you want
like, have male groups.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. But I'm glad, yes, because it's diabolical.
My man could have a female.
What is going on here?
Like, you can have female friends, but you can't. Your main squad can't be women.
And the goal to say that he isn't gay.
Can you imagine?
He's not the one in question, my friend. The whole
Yeah.
dust protest too much.
Yeah, man, babes. I'm sorry about all of this, but I say that you find some new friends.
I should
Preferably
have gone
male.
with the bar. Thou dost project too much.
That's a bar. That is a bar. All right, last one. Person's A20. What should I do and how should I react if I found out I was getting exploited? This is interesting. I'm not laughing at dilemma. I'm laughing at something else that happened before.
Of course.
Obviously. What should I do and how should I react if I found out I was getting exploited? Basically, there's this guy in one of my classes and I really fancy her and she knows. Okay, there's this girl in one of my classes and I really fancy her and she knows. Everyone knows I have a crush on her and so does she. I'm unfortunate to have come from a family of bakers, so I know how to bake really well. Ooh, and I have a rep around uni for being the best baker in Leicester. I bet you are. I bet you are the best baker in Leicester. The girl that I have a crush on told me to go to her accommodation so I can teach her how to bake. And I thought this was kind of like our first unofficial date, and I was gassed. I made like 5 cakes. 5 cakes! I do cupcakes. She wanted to make 5 cakes.
Wow.
She's a thief. I'm joking. I made like 5 cakes and she wrote down all the rules and recorded me. We had a great time and I thought she was feeling me back because of her energy and how she was flirting back whilst I was teaching her. We didn't kiss or do anything mad, but it was such a vibe. Come to find out, there's a guy that I work with at a restaurant and he's a friend of mine and he told me in his lunch break that there's this thing that I'm not even feeling like that, but she's onto me. She's made me cakes and that. I'm not gonna lie, I'm just trying to chop. The cake that he brought into lunch break.
Sorry.
The cake that he brought in the lunch break was the cake I made for my crush. And she gave it to this guy. She doesn't know we know each other, but I feel so violated and exploited and completely disrespected. I'm not the type of person that looks out for revenge, but knowing I have classes with her at least every week and I have to share a space with her knowing she's violated is going to be bare awkward. What would you lot do if you were me? Would you air her? Would you let her know you know? You too. When you carried your spatula, caster sugar, flour, eggs to somebody's house to make 5 cakes, she's a criminal.
5
cakes.
What?
It had to be student accommodation. Because if it was somebody's home, they would have charged you for the gas you're using to bake them cakes.
For real.
5 cakes. I have to bake a cake for church once in a blue moon. And it takes me, I haven't made a cake for them people in a few months. It takes me out. 5 cakes.
That's ridiculous.
She's a thief. And you too. I don't know the nice way to say this.
Oh, man.
You're an egg, if I'm being honest with you. You slightly are. Because, first of all, I get why you feel like you feel violated, but she didn't actually violate you. She didn't tell you she liked you. She asked you to come round for the simple task of teaching me how to bake. It just so happens that the guy that has a crush on me happens to be the best baker in Leicester. What was she to do? Yeah, and it just so happens that she knows the guy and she can talk to the guy. So she asked you to come and teach her how to make cake. You didn't even lips. If you had said that she lips shoot, like you guys kissed or something, I said okay. Like, I guess the flirting was there, but also what is flirting?
Yeah.
She might just want you making conversation.
It's not enough for 5 cakes.
Not enough for 5 cakes.
And this was even before the flirt.
I'm not gonna get 5 cakes out of me. 5 cakes. You know it's a whole day affair. Because the oven is not that big in student accommodations. That's crazy.
Nah, man.
I don't think you should feel violated. I know that you say you feel that, but I think you don't feel violated because she violated you. Your ego is just bruised that she likes somebody else. The problem is that she likes somebody else. But unfortunately, the harsh reality of life is that you don't, like, you can't make people like you. And just because you like someone doesn't mean they have to like you back. This goes for men and women. Some of you girls be acting crazy because you like a man who don't like you back. But anyway, yeah. Like, I'm sorry. I wish I could cuddle you a little bit, but there's no cuddling other than I can't believe when someone's had to make 5 cakes. That's wild. Wild. I'm sure even Mel, wherever she's baking right now, big up Mel Baker. I love you, babes.
Big up Mel.
I know she's shocked that the guy made 5 cakes. 5! But she's funny as heck. But to be fair, she never said, I want you to teach me to make 5 cakes for myself or for my friend. Nothing. She just said, I want you to teach me. You were so excited to spend time with her. You made 5 out of this one opportunity you were given, clearly. In another world where the person likes you back, this would have been great. This would have been a great rom-com story. But in this circumstance, I'm sorry, babe. I don't think... I would just air her. Because I'll be honest with you, if a guy... Like, if this was me if I was a girl in the situation and a guy comes to me and says, oh, you asked me to come around and teach you how to make cakes and then you gave it to a guy, I'll be like, okay. And so? Like, I did. And then what? Because I didn't like... Okay.
Yeah.
I think the best thing to think about is that you just count your losses. I'm very dramatic in the way I think. And so something like that, if this was me, say it was reversed and I was the guy, I would just think, oh my gosh, thank God it wasn't $5,000.
Yeah, for real.
I always think of things worse. It could have been worse that I could have given you. So thank God it wasn't that. And thank God I clocked early that she don't like me back. If you I think it's embarrassing to say something. Because I think you saw her as a date, she didn't see it as a date. So when you then tell her, it will be obvious that you were doing way too much, thinking it was a date, and then now you're even questioning about what she's doing, even though you guys are not dating. Like, she doesn't have to answer. I think you just take that L, baby. I'm so sorry, but you gotta just take the L and put your baking skills. Next time, ask people, vet them, vet the reasons for the lessons.
100%. And you know what the thing is, because obviously I was a bit toxic in the previous one. To be fair,
you're trying to balance it out.
To be fair, it wasn't that bad, you know.
It wasn't actually, because I'm honest with you, a guy with a girlfriend worrying about his female friends, you're moving mad. You're moving mad. You're moving mad.
Need to sort your life
You're
out.
moving mad.
But what I will say is, though, to this guy, because this guy's young, and I feel like for most guys, you have one of these situations. It happens, right?
Yeah.
But then it's how you recover, right? That's going to determine.
It's how you bounce back.
Yeah, that's going to determine.
Let her wish she wanted more than your cakes.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
So you have to be very careful here, because basically what I'm trying to say to you is, you could be an elite level sniper after this. Yeah, learn, or
everybody in
you
your
could
cakes.
be the guy in a previous dilemma. You don't want to be that guy. It's facts though, because that's what will happen.
Now,
Then you'd be telling us all sorts of nonsense
it's
about.
a defining moment.
Come on, my friend.
I do think that. I will say that if it was a case where, because he's saying they're flirting, obviously we don't have examples of what the flirting was like, but sometimes people think you're flirting with you.
True.
Like, I'm the kind of person where when guys flirt with me, I don't have a Scooby you're flirting with me. I don't have a clue. I don't have. If you don't come out and tell me, hey Esther, I like you, I would like to go on a date with you. You can even invite me. I'll be like, okay, that's nice. My friends would be like, is that a date? I'm like, no, not at all. We just wanted to be out. Like, I'm very like that. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know what kind of flirting it was. But if it was a thing where she was heavily flirting, but I think it's different. I feel like, cause I was going to say that if it was a thing where she knows that he likes her, and so she used that to advantage to get kicks out of him, then I would say confront her. But she didn't ask him to make the cake. She said, come here and teach me. She could have asked him to make the cakes.
Yeah.
And that's what a true player would have done. So I don't even think she's doing playing you. Yeah, man, my advice stands. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. But you know what? I have hope. I have hope for him, you know, because because he's seeing it as a violation, even though it's not a full violation.
He'll put a pep in the step a little bit. Yeah,
I feel like he's going to be a better man for this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But please be careful. Don't backtrack and make excuses, because you will end up on the other path. And that path is not good. It's not good.
Don't level up and then be quick to run back to her.
Hey, don't
and
do
then
that.
3 months from now, it's summertime, you're coming to us with another dilemma that she's doing this and doing
I'm
that.
telling you.
Hey, know your worth, king. Just personally, I think that she obviously likes somebody else. She's not interested in you. I think walk away. Like, I don't think you should spend time trying to convince her to like you. Like, you sound like a great guy. You sound like you're lovely. You sound like you're nice.
Yeah, man.
And you're a good baker as well. Not many men are baking like that.
At all.
So, like, do you know what I mean? Like, you sound like a wholesome guy, and you need to be with a woman who sees what you are. And you shouldn't spend time trying to convince a woman to see who you are. So don't do all of that. I think honestly, I'm sorry, babe, but you just got
it happens,
in the bank.
man.
It happens. It builds character. Like Iman said, it's about how you move forward from here on out.
Yeah, man. You'll be fine.
With your confidence. Don't be cocky, but move forward and be great in that. Anyway.
Updates.
Is this the previous guy that Iman's cousin?
I believe so.
Good.
Sorry, Iman, I'm not a hater, lol.
You what?
Sorry. I've been with my girlfriend 4 years now. But
I told you. It's the tension he misses. Sorry, Brent.
That's right. But these girls have been my friends since secondary school. It's just the fact that they've put in more effort to get to know him and spend time with him, and they've treated me like a side piece in the friendship, and they've forgotten about me. I have male friends as well, but it's just the fact I'd like to have a mixed group of friends. Not all just black, not all just men, various groups. Today's mathematics God. I don't know what it means.
It's good.
He's right about that. That's the only thing he's right
So
about.
he's your brother.
We need to work on that.
And somebody says, guys, she did tell me to make the cakes for her and teach her, if that changes anything.
It doesn't. It doesn't. I'm sorry. It doesn't change a damn thing. Sorry, but before I touch on the cakes, the previous guy. Yeah, you were friends in secondary school, but you know what? People just do you know what? It's friendships. What's it called?
Yeah, man. They
Disperse,
apart, man.
Do you know what I mean? Like you over time you stop being friends with people. And not because there's beef or anything like that. You just grow. You grow apart. Your interests change, and that's just unfortunately the cycle of life. And I just think nurture, like pour into the friends that make an effort with you, and that you make an effort with. Do you get what I mean? Like pour into those relationships, and don't worry about the ones that've gone now.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Sorry, love, Bele. The next guy, Mr. Baker. No, it doesn't change anything that she asked you to make, because I think my advice would have been different if it was that she manipulated you into making the cakes.
Yeah.
And my advice would still be for you to move on without her, but to confront her, because I'm a big fan of letting people know that, hey, I know the fringes that you think you got away with. I'm aware. So yeah, my advice doesn't change. No, it doesn't change. I think you just need to take that L, unfortunately, and just move on from it. 5 cakes is wild though. If you live in London, you can send us a cake there.
And why all this time you've been listening to the show, you didn't offer to send us
Imagine.
one?
Only Mel has baked for us.
Big up Mel.
Big up Mel every single time. Absolutely. But yeah.
Did you decorate the cakes as well?
You couldn't have.
I'll
if he tells me,
I'll run.
then you dare tell me you iced those cakes. They better have been plain.
I'm telling
just
you.
plain.
Hey, lie to us, please.
Please don't tell me the truth. You could have iced it.
Y'all just triggered a little memory. You know we have another baker in our midst.
And are they offered cakes?
No.
So why are we telling them?
I have to basically press them for that because...
Who's the baker? Can you say?
That. No, I don't know if it was spoken
in private.
Yeah.
It's someone that likes
Obviously,
us,
it was in private because it was just both of us, but...
Is it me and you?
I don't know if it is.
Oh, you and the person. Oh.
Yeah, you're not big.
I was thinking, what?
I think it was told to me in confidence. I don't know.
Okay.
But 100%, she should run some cakes.
Like, why do people don't send cakes anymore?
Yeah.
Fact.
They don't know where we live.
Fair.
But they didn't ask.
Yeah, but before you begin addresses to people.
Yeah, for real.
Don't worry. I'm fine with just Mel's cakes. Let's actually be guided. Yeah, hope we helped you guys. All the best to everybody involved. And please, that first guy with the porn situation, please get therapy for your wife and stuff like that. That's honestly a very, very deep issue. Let's get into what you're saying, topic of the day.
Right.
All right, people. So today's topic of the day. So this particular clip, I'm not too sure if it was sent to me. No, I sent it to Christy. Had a bit of a giggle on that. And I thought, this is definitely something we need to bring to the people.
Yeah.
So Brent, if you don't mind, let's get into it. Play that clip, please. But essentially, Dr. Umar was...
Now, here's my warning for...
Sorry. Have you heard that he's got a child that's trying to claim him?
What?
There's a girl... Sorry, Brent. There's a girl that's trying to claim that she's Dr. Umar's daughter.
Okay.
And she just wants to step forward and be a daddy. And I think she put her baby picture. Oh, crap. I should have saved it. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if you guys think that this is Dr. Umar's offspring. He's obviously come out and said, hey. Yes. Thank God it's there. Hold on. Brent, do you think that's Dr. Umar's offspring?
That's him when he was younger.
That's the daughter.
Send it to me so I can show the people.
Yes. That's the daughter, Brent. So he's obviously trying to say that he wants to have a 3-way Zoom call with a mama, with an alleged mama, so that he can get to the bottom of this. He's denying it. He's saying that he ain't got a kid. But I don't know how men that sleep around confidently say stuff like that, you know. You possibly could. You possibly could.
Man.
I think that's a scary life to live.
Tell me.
Whew. Anyway, this is what their situation is about. Is he the daddy? Is he not the daddy? That's what they're going through. That's just money me. But yeah.
Yes. So, basically he was a guest in this podcast. This podcast has a black host and a white host.
Yeah.
And they get into the topic of interracial situations.
Role play.
Basically. Yeah, role play and that. Just before that, they were talking about if, for example, you're in an interracial relationship and you get into a heated argument.
Yeah.
You know, people say certain things that they don't mean, right? What would you do if that person used a racial slur on you, sort of thing?
Couldn't.
And then it went into the whole bedroom thing.
Okay.
So that's the 2 questions I pretty much want to ask everybody. If they've been in that situation, come forward and tell the truth, right? But yeah, here's the clip.
If you want to hear it, grab a headphones.
Oh, yes. Forgot about that.
Don't worry, it will be changed by Monday.
Yay. All right. Let's see. It's the DJ.
Black women, though, who date white men. And I only know this because I got female friends. There is probably no greater psychological trauma a black woman can experience than to be called the N-word by somebody she loves. And I have met several black women who have dated white men.
Damn.
Who, in the heat of the argument, the heat of the conversation,
they say that shit?
Either the black bitch or the N-word. Yes. Yes.
I ain't even gonna ask y'all.
Yes. I've even had a conversation with a black woman who said while she was in the act of being intimate with her white spouse, he called her an N-word during sex.
On some kinky shit?
On some slave plantation shit.
I'm not mad at that, though. I'm sorry. Hold on.
I don't fuck with that shit.
Umar, hear me out.
I don't fuck with that shit. Nah, that's not my thing.
Bro, what you mean you ain't mad?
No, I mean, we all got our kinks in the bed. I'm just saying, I'm not taking it personal.
When you're being intimate, you go unconscious. You do know that.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
So when he called her that, that is the archetype in his long-term storage of the black woman.
Hold on, side. If you was fucking a white woman and she called you the N-word during sex, you would.
Maybe now, especially after sitting with this brother here. Now we can't have.
But I'm saying even before.
But can I be honest? I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't. I probably as a kink, and in a younger age. Don't judge me. What are we saying? We don't judge.
We listen and we don't.
Just hear me out, brother. I'm being transparent. I'm being honest. I'm just saying. I done had some kinky times where that might have been fine. I might have told the group chat like, yo, I made her say it on some freaky shit.
Just like control?
Being immature, but I'm not just podcasting right now. You educated me on a lot of shit for real.
I got you.
I'm a good listener, bro. I'm not. I didn't come here to cook you.
I got you.
Or to be right. I'm saying my truth, and I ain't gonna lie.
Got you.
I done had some kinks where I don't judge another man kink. The arguing, saying you stupid black bitch, I'm like, oh, that's a little bit of hidden agenda, long-term storage, as he just said. But on the sexual side, we're unconscious. We lose our mind. I'm not really mad at that.
But are you putting into perspective the fact that we were not considered people. We were considered animals for the first 200 years in America. Remember, we were chattel, property
and that's
slave.
not to be played with.
And what was the one thing that the white man always had access to from the black woman and he never had China?
Right. So they took it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You cannot separate sexual exploitation of black women from slavery. It was the heart and soul of it.
See, right.
One of the big reasons black men were castrated is because the slave master's wife was sexually attracted to the slave more than her husband. And so you got punished because she made you sleep with her and told you if you didn't, she going to tell on you. And then when you slept with her, he found out, he punished you. So you was damn if you do, damn if you don't. Damn. All I'm saying is we were so traumatized by way of sex.
Yeah.
Why would we allow it even conditionally as a kink in the bedroom?
And that's why I'm not doing it no more.
Yeah, because we as black people got to be careful.
That's crazy.
Because if we keep on making exceptions to what slavery did to us.
Yeah.
If you make an exception for the N-word, you make an exception for your woman to call you an N. You make an exception for your husband to call you an N during sex.
Yeah.
If you're going to excuse any aspect of slavery, you might as well excuse the whole thing. And if you excuse the whole thing, bro, if you excuse the whole thing, there is an ancestral punishment waiting for that ass.
Respect that, bro. Damn.
Now, here's my warning.
There it is.
Do you know what respect though?
Can you hear in both ears?
No, just one.
Nah.
Interesting. I'm hearing it, mine in both ears. Let me switch it around. I'll continue.
What I respect though is how patient Dr. Umar was, like in educating him, because I tell you, that is some BS. And you know I don't like. Do I find so funny when people are like, "Don't shame me," because I don't shame other people. I'm glad for you in your house, but for me, I shame. As for me, I do shame. So don't tell me because you don't shame. Sorry, your karma doesn't work here. Don't worry about my karma. I'll deal with it when I get to the place where I'm being shamed. I think that's wild. That's wild. That's wild. There's no excuse for that. I don't believe in the race. We talk about when that Murad Melly, that was Smelly Melly with the smelly feet, was slapping people, and he's back again, by the way, in the scene.
Oh, is it?
I don't know who his audience is now. I don't know who his audience is. It's not black people for sure. But I don't believe in race play. I don't believe there's ever any reason for that. But I'm like, you can't call me a bitch. You can't call me strip girl. No, like I'm just not with. I'm not with things that are berating. Even if you're saying that you're having sex, like I'm sorry, it just doesn't make sense. I can't connect it. It doesn't make sense. I can't get it, and may we never get it because that's crazy work. I can't do it. I'm sorry, and I don't think it's right.
I was saying to Christy,
and yes, the white person that indulges in that is racist.
100%.
You are.
I was saying to Christy, maybe I'm looking for the silver lining here, but I appreciate his honesty, though.
I do, because we have to have conversations, because I didn't know this was a thing.
You know what I'm saying? And for him to be like, no, like, this is just what, to me, it was cool. But essentially, obviously, I'm paraphrasing it.
Yeah.
You guys heard it from him, right? But, you know what I'm saying? And like you said, the patience of Dr. Umar to school him so that other people can see this, you know what I'm saying? And made me aware of the fact that I think a lot more people do this, you know? Potentially. Obviously, I have no figures or whatnot, innit? And this is why I'm basically trying to ask. Obviously, in the chat, no one would admit to it. Because why would you?
Nah, speaking truth. Ain't judging.
But yeah, but like, has anyone been in that situation where even if you didn't accept it, it happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know, like, how would you react? How would you respond? You know what I'm saying? Like, and why is that even a desire?
Cut the cameras. What do you mean? You black bitch. Excuse me?
That's insane.
Oh my gosh. Nah, there's no way.
That's insane.
There's
That's
no way.
insane.
I'm a light though to all parties involved. But for me, in my household, impossible. I just think, I don't think there's a reason. I don't think there's ever, and I just think that as the white person, don't you feel like, nah, I couldn't use any kind of slurs in the bedroom. I'm sorry, what are you people doing in there that's that deep? That's the honest. What are you doing in there that's that? It's not that deep. I'm glad he said that. I did not know that was a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But do you feel like, okay, N-word aside though, if you're describing body parts and stuff and saying black this and oh no, you white this and okay, yeah, flip it round. If a black guy says it to a white woman or a black woman says it to a white guy, yeah, is that different?
It's weird. Because I've heard people. I don't know where I've seen this. That's important where it was. I did see it, but I don't think I saw it in one of the places that woman's folded up in Dilemma. It's not where I saw it. But it's like when people are like, "Do you like this black insert body part?" I think all of that is weird though. Why does it have to be black? But do you know what? The reason why actually forget that question. I think the reason why I don't believe in stuff like this is what Dr. Umar said.
Yeah,
it's about the history of these things. So Black Rob says, is the reverse okay? Like all the madness that Sunflower does. Do you support Sunflower?
I don't know nothing about her. Is it her, right?
Yeah, do you know that girl? The one that said, what she say? She said marriage is sex work. And I said...
Yeah, that one. I've never listened to anything that
I don't like her. I don't like everything she listens to. I don't like her. No. I don't know if she's a feminist, but her version of feminism is not the one I practice. Like, no, sometimes just shut up. There was something, there was something I think she was on I can't remember what it was, but to be fair, I don't pay attention to everything. I just scroll. I just think, shut up. Like, shut up, girl. Stop. I see it as an attention seeker. And I think there's this thing with people thinking that they're very, very cool because they think, quote unquote, out of the norm. But it's out of the norm because it's dumb. Anyway, there's that. What I was saying before.
And what? Yeah, no, I just want to say what exactly.
Yeah, what does she say?
Are you referring to? Yeah, what does she do? Or say?
Please give context. More context.
Good morning, Subi. How are you?
Oh yes.
Yeah, earphones, isn't it?
Hello.
You're muted, young man.
Why he does that? The reason why I have an issue with these things is what Dr. Umar said. It's about the stereotype that exists. It's the context behind these things. Like, even with black men, I don't like the fact that black men are, objectified for they have bigger penises. There's dangers. Those are dangerous narratives. Yes, some people might think people can mask it as a compliment, but I find it highly inappropriate because of the history of it. Do you get what I mean? That narrative that black men are like that is why, again, they were being, trigger one, but why they're being raped, why they're being killed for false accusations of them raping. Do you know what I mean? All these things. So I think I just can't separate history from the bedroom. Cut long story short. I can't. Are you there?
Subi? No, we can't hear you.
Going once? Twice?
Still can't.
We're not going to cut
you.
your. I'm just going to take my headphones off.
If you're talking, we can't hear you.
Damn.
But yeah. Anyway, yeah. Is more context coming on Sunflower?
I don't know. I'm waiting for Black Rob.
Okay.
But in one of those situations where, let's just say a friend of yours is saying to you, okay, cool, my white partner, we got into a heated argument. I said some really bad things to him. I really did, you know. I called his mum this and it was out of hand and stuff.
Yeah.
But then he called me the N-word.
Damn nigger. Nigger.
Do you feel like that's grounds for an automatic relationship done? Or can we work through it?
Yeah, man. Because I don't believe in people saying they're having arguments with their partners and then you start saying very crazy things or friends or anything like that. I believe you should say what you mean. And yes, I don't know, for whatever reason, you might get carried away or whatever, and you say something that you don't mean, then you would have to face the consequences of that. And that person maybe not having trust in you or whatever the case is, yes. But I do feel that there's certain insults that I know that has been in your heart. It's deep. It comes from a deep place. I need to say dick place. It comes from a deep place. Arguing with your partner who is an opposite race and them calling you the N-word, do you know what that means? That means outside of arguments, they see you as the N-word. Yeah. And I don't mean just a black person. I mean that the N-word that the masses were seeing black people as back then. I can't move on from that. But the way I am anyway, I can't move on from maltreatment and people disrespect. Like I can't. I don't forget how people treat me. So for me, I don't see how realistically I could ever continue a relationship where my non-black partner has called me the N-word. What the hell does that look like? You're gonna get angry at another point. What are you gonna call me then? You're gonna start adding all different types of pronouns and adjectives and prepositions to the prefixes to the N-word now. Nah, man. I think the only way is down from there. I just don't see how you can feel safe around that person after that. Especially given that if you're with somebody who's not black, N-word should never be something that like comes in their mind ever because of the history. Yeah. And that's another thing that people, like, you have a responsibility to know that history. If you're gonna deal with black people or whatever, you have a responsibility to know their history. So there's no way you should know that history, and then ever call someone the N-word. I don't care what they said to you. I don't care if they wish your mother dead. There's never an excuse to say something like that of that gravity to a person, because that means you've been thinking it. Mm-hmm. And that means that because sometimes, I don't know if your minds do it, but sometimes like your mind just says random things. And you never say it out loud, but it's like a what's the word? Those thoughts. Like a random thought. Do you know what I mean? It's not when I'm walking past something, that's got a bit of height. I'm like, oh, let's jump. Where am I jumping? Where am I doing? You know what I mean? Thoughts like that. So in my mind, that means when we're sitting down having dinner just on a random day, your mind is just saying, oh, look at this nigga.
Yeah, it could come in there.
And you're probably in your mind like, nigga. Like, you're making songs out of the N-word. No. There's no way we can't move forward from that. It's unrealistic.
It's insane.
Let's try again. And apparently it's pronounced Subi.
Subi. What did you say before?
I've been saying Subi. Oh. Subi, it's not working.
It's still not working. What's going on?
Hello?
Oh, there we go.
It's working now.
Morning, hon. How are you?
Okay. How you doing, guys?
Good, thank you. You?
I'm good, thank you.
Wonderful.
The only thing I want to say is that, like, all of these things are valid, what you're saying, to an extent. To an extent. I just want to read a quick stat here. 50 Shades of Grey sold 100 million copies worldwide. It's known as one of the fastest selling books in history. 50 Shades of Grey is a book that many would say is about a very juicy fruit called a grape fantasy.
Right.
Is it or is it not?
I don't know. I never read it.
Yeah, same.
I watched.
Okay, 100 million people did.
You watched what?
Now,
nothing.
100 million people did read that book. I was at the cinema on the day that film premiered. I've never seen so many women in the cinema just blocking the whole place to watch that movie. And there is much psychology study of these power dynamics between men and women in the bedroom. Anecdotally, I don't think I've ever been in a scenario in the bed when there is not something that could be classed as taboo when we're all sober sitting around the dinner table. People like certain things. Spanking, choking, all sorts of stuff goes on in the bedroom. So while this thing could unveil a deeper racist situation, a deeper racist issue, people are kinky as hell, and taboo is part of what makes sex what it is now. And it's probably always been that way. So that's my 2 cents on the matter.
Is there race play in 50 Shades of Grey?
There's no race play, but I mean, we can. The reason I bring it up is because one of the things that, I didn't even want to say the word online because we all know how taboo that fruit that I mentioned is.
I actually don't.
Oh, we could have an argument about what is worse.
But what fruit
a grapefruit.
Did you mention? Oh, grapefruit. Oh, was it like in Ghost Trip? Have you watched Ghost Trip?
Oh, no. Grape rhymes with a word that I don't want to say.
Oh,
okay.
Grape play.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
See, we're really thinking
That entire book. That entire book is like sex. The thing is, it's a woman that is in love or that has a relationship with a very rich, handsome, young multimillionaire.
Yeah.
And she works for the company, or she's involved in the company. I don't know, whatever. I haven't gone in depth into the story. There is a power dynamic. There is a money dynamic. He's very handsome. And what the people that have analyzed this book are saying is that he is the archetype of majority of women's desires, which is,
that's scary.
And when it comes to that archetype, these women enjoy that fruit fantasy with that guy.
Oh.
So the whole film, he's doing madness to it. The whole book, he's doing madness to it. Right?
Wow.
And they're all enjoying it and then whatever. But let's just the important part is that the popularity of it is unprecedented.
Yeah, I remember when it came out.
And men don't read that book. Women read that book. So I just want to point out that in the bedroom, all sorts of taboo and stuff goes on. I can give you my own anecdotal notes, but before you want to say it's anecdotal, that is a clear example that is not anecdotal, where taboo is greatly
taboo sells.
welcomed. Yeah, right. So taboo sells, but there is something called the Harlequin fantasy that they talk about in psychology, which is essentially the story of Beauty and the Beast. So a woman aligns themselves with a wild man and then domesticates him so that the wild man can defend her. So think of the dynamic. Let's just think of the dynamic between Beauty and the Beast if that was a sexual scenario. What kind of fantasy that these things bring up? So anyway, I'm just trying to make the point that in bed, in relationships between two consenting adults, many madnesses go on, and it could be that there is some secret racial whatever dynamic going on that needs to be addressed. Yes, it could be that. But women have told me things they want me to do to them in bed. That is, you understand what I'm trying to say?
It's scary.
Give us a couple examples.
Just because, I've been requested to punch. I've been requested to give all kinds of denigrations verbally. And this isn't just like, oh, that one girl that was whatever. This has happened before. And then even if it happened many times, I don't discriminate. And then we're in a situation where even if you take that aside, in general, I think most men can appreciate that the word rough is something that that like in general, it's very rare that I've ever had a woman say, you know what, I would really like some real gentle, caressing type situation. Yes, there's a time and a place for that, of course, but a lot of the time, it's like, do me dirty, rough, choke, spank, and everyone's going to have their slide on spectrum on how far they want to go with those things. Some take it further than others. But the act of sex is sometimes synonymous with violence and all sorts of things, all sorts of taboos. So I'm just saying, there may be a situation where the guy needs to go and check his racist ancestor, whatever. But then, I just wanted to bring some balance that there's all sorts of taboo allowed in the bedroom between two consenting adults. Isn't there some Bible verse about the bedroom is not defiled? I don't know. I'll leave that for the Christians to talk about. And there are plenty of dark. There's plenty of dark, dirty, kinky fantasies that in the bedroom you would be ashamed to publicly talk about or share or whatever around the dinner table. And we can all say, oh, I would never do that. I would never do that. But then when these people are in bed, they're doing all kinds of madness.
That is so
oops.
Yeah.
Eddie.
Eddie knows, man. Speak from experience.
Yeah. I think you need to ask him, bro.
No, you could ask him.
Eddie.
Good.
Oh, hey.
How you doing, man? You all right?
Yeah.
So do you agree with what Subi was saying? Has that been your experience? Well, you know what I mean? Like, what do you think?
Oh yeah, I think that's interesting, and I agree with Cesar that it's scary, especially what could go on during that time.
So do you feel like in the moment everything is kind of okay?
No holds barred.
Yeah. Or do you feel like there should always be exceptions? Always be certain things that's like a no-go?
Um, yeah, certain things should be a no go.
What should run? So I can help myself.
Um,
All right,
yes,
then. Okay. Sorry, go on.
I guess you two can have sex as long as it's respectful and that kind of stuff.
The wisest man in the
How it should
chat
be.
has spoken. Thank you very much, Eddie, for
Thanks,
your
Eddie.
wisdom.
Yes,
Always
pleasure.
appreciate your call.
Thanks.
Thanks, Subi, as
Yeah,
well.
thank you, Subi,
I
man.
did not know that's what 50 Shades of Grey was. I just thought it was some kinky stuff. And I just thought, why do all these women, all the girls love it? But I never watched it, never read
Hey,
it.
you're
I
gonna
just
go
wasn't
read it
my
now,
thing.
innit?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Jesus said I'm not allowed. That is crazy. But you do hear women talk about, oh, rough sex.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ladies
so.
and gentlemen, my work here is done. Thank you so
But
much.
you
for
did a
inviting me
great
on.
job.
I'm shouting in from Uganda. Peace and love,
Oh,
everybody.
Come
thanks,
on.
babe.
Appreciate it,
Come
Enjoy the sun, enjoy
on.
the motherland.
Big up Subi every time.
Every single time.
Thank you very much.
Wow, you really be learning things on TDA, boy.
Yeah, yes.
Did you hear both ears?
Yes, no one.
Okay, cool.
None of us confused at the fruits. I was thinking, what fruit? I was thinking, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's scary though, because stuff like that can easily go left. Because didn't we read a headline the other day that talk about they want to make choking
Yes.
illegal or
All
something like
imagery
that.
of choking.
Yeah.
Gone. Yeah.
But it can easily go left, and then now it's your word against a dead corpse. I think that's scary, you know.
Insane.
That's my worst fear. Don't tell me. Wake up. In the words of TD Jakes, wake up.
Wake up. You need
Wake up.
You need to be swallowed still.
That's crazy. That's crazy as the heck. Anyway.
Man. Well, I guess we can
That'll
wrap
do
it
it.
up there, man.
Let's do People's Journal.
All right, yeah, let's do people.
All right.
I'm about to go. That's so funny.
Yeah.
It's like I just hear like a random background thing. I think it's my head. And I'm like, oh yeah.
All right, people. Welcome to the People's Journal, where I give you the news from an economics point of view. First thing I want to talk about, is this new Bitcoin reserve. So anybody who's into crypto, has pretty much heard the news that, well, one of the promises of Trump, that when he gets into power, he's basically pro-crypto. He believes in having...
Is that because I moved the thing? Is it motion sensor as well?
Don't. Why are you bringing attention to stuff?
Sorry.
In a wicks, man. God damn it.
But yeah, one of the things that he wanted to do was basically, promised anyway, was to have a Bitcoin reserve, right? Which is something that's super pro-crypto. You know what I'm saying? The entire markets, everyone believed anyway, it was just pump and, you know what I mean? Long story short, he has signed an executive order to establish a strategic reserve for Bitcoin. So this makes America one of the few countries in the entire world to actually create a national stockpile of blockchain assets. So some countries already have, some countries I think were even trying to make Bitcoin their main currency. But for the leading power in the world to say, cool, yeah, we want to have this as one of our assets is huge. There's a video that I need to watch, but basically, even though that news came forth, right, crypto didn't pump like crazy. So there's other things that's going on. Like to be fair, since Trump has taken office, a lot of different things have affected the crypto market. There's been times where it was doing well, but a lot more times where it was doing bad. Since he took office November 5th, I believe, everything seemed to pump. But then it got to a kind of like a little bit of a stalemate at the end of December or mid-December, and things have just gradually been going down and down and down. I believe last week, Bitcoin went as low as 76K, which is crazy because it already went over 100K. So yeah, there's a lot of market manipulation going on. But anyway, I don't get too much into the Bitcoin, into cryptocurrency as a whole. But I just wanted to say that this particular reserve is basically, it's there. Yeah, he signed an executive order to make it a reality. And what they're saying is that the reserve is going to be holding cryptocurrency that's been forfeited to the federal government as part of criminal or civil proceedings. So that's basically how it's going to start, right? America's not going to be selling any Bitcoin that's deposited in the reserve. And yeah, they're just going to be keeping it as an asset. I think there's also something else going on where, in fact, I think Saleh kind of alluded to this when he called at one time, speaking about Ripple and XRP, that there's certain banks now that's going to be able to, how do I put it? Basically, they're going to be able to have something in place where they can actually handle cryptocurrency now, basically. So it's not just going to be normal fiat, your normal currencies, but actual cryptocurrency. You know what I'm saying? Digital currencies. So yeah, this is a big thing for America and for the crypto world. The next thing I wanted to mention is, and I said this before as well, that since one of the big changes to the economy was to the budget, I should say, that Rachel Reeves delivered in the last year, was the whole thing about stamp duty, right? And the threshold and how things have changed, right? So right now, buyers with homes that's worth less than 250K do not pay stamp duty. They don't pay any of that land tax, right? But this is going to change to 125K. So as soon as you buy a property that's above that, which is basically every property, well, yeah, you know what I'm saying? From 1st of April, you're going to be paying stamp duty at certain thresholds from 125K. For most first-time buyers, the threshold is currently 425K, but that's going to drop down to 300K. So if you're a first-time buyer before the 1st of April, as in right now, the threshold is 425K. That's going to go down to 300K. I say all of this to say this. If you're basically in the middle of a purchase, see that? If you're in the middle of a purchase, to be fair, you probably know this already, but try and get the deal done before the 1st of April. You do not want to get another bill where you're just wasting money. That money is literally just going to go to nowhere. It's just a waste, right? So, yeah, try and make sure things are in place, that you've done all your bits. Nobody's waiting on you. Your solicitors are aware of what's going on, ready to sign and check everything, because obviously, as you guys know, the year goes quick, man. So before you know it, we're going to be here the 1st of April. But yeah, just a reminder to everybody that stamp duty laws will be changing from the 1st of April. There isn't much else to talk about. Just wanted to say that Boots has been bought, I believe. The US owner of Boots says that they're going to be taken private in a $10 billion deal. $10 billion. So this move is basically... I believe it's Walgreens. Yeah, Walgreens. They own it, I believe. But yeah, I believe that's the case. Under the deal, there's a private equity firm, Sycamore Partners. They're going to be paying a certain amount of money, $11.45 per share for Walgreens Boots Alliance, right? So that's more than its shares are currently worth on the US stock market. And that's basically what the deal is. The total value of the transaction could be worth up to $23.7 billion. Yeah, which is crazy. So yeah, that's the long story short. That's the situation. Boots is basically getting a new multi-billion-dollar deal. Next thing I wanted to mention is Poundland could be up for sale as well. Why? Because it changes the tax. The tax changes, taxes going up. They may not be able to continue. So the Poundland's owner has said that it's considering putting the entire chain up for sale because of the tax changes that are coming in April. That's going to be putting a lot of pressure on that business, and obviously not just that business, but other businesses too. So yeah, their sales have been down since January anyway, and February. And when you then factor in the new tax changes that's going to affect them, yeah, they're thinking it's best to just get rid of it. Also wanted to mention, this isn't part of the People's Journal Too Tough, but just wanted to mention Eurostar services from Paris have been cancelled for the rest of the day. Why? Because they found an unexploded World War II bomb. So so they've stopped that. So if you're planning on going to Paris or whatever it is, you're going to have to rejig certain things. Apparently the bomb was found in the middle of the tracks in the area of Saint-Denis during the overnight works. And so they're trying to put certain things in place. Local train services are also being disrupted as well. So that could obviously mess up your plans if you're planning on going to Euston or going to other parts of London or whatever, or even just outside of London. Everything to do with that particular area has been delayed because of what's going on. But that's pretty much it for the People's Journal. Let's get into the reaction, Brent.
Before we get into the reaction, this is the picture that Esther was shown before.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know if y'all in the chat feel as though this is Dr. Uma's daughter. And check this out, Emmanuel. Headphones, please.
Yep.
8 million to make mice transgender. Is this real life?
And you were allowed to vote. Is this real life? Now, this woman's talking about something in particular about transgender mice, but where did she get that from?
$8 million for making mice transgender. This is real.
All right, so this was another one of those, if Trump said it, it has to be true moments. But Trump actually misspoke here big time. Because what Trump should have said is scientists were making mice transgenic, not transgender. And as you can see here, transgenic mouse technology has revolutionized virtually all fields of biology and provided new genetic approaches to model many human diseases in a whole animal context. So as you can see here in the transgenic mouse model, scientists add human cells to mice so that when they introduce diseases and study them, these mice and their tissue react more like human tissue. And that's how we end up at a University of Cincinnati website where they're talking about their $8 million study to continue gene-environment interaction research. So yeah, Dunning, instead of stopping research where you say it was transgender mice, you actually stopped research that might help us figure out how diseases affect the human body. And you, Danielle, you bought the whole thing hook, line, and sinker just because it came out of Trump's mouth. Shame on ya.
Interesting, but I don't know what you want me to say.
Nah, just your thoughts.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's very. I mean, is there proof that he stopped that the money going into that particular research? Because I don't think it's just a case of I'm going to stop it and nobody checks. He ain't got no people doing due diligence and stuff in it. I don't know.
Maybe this is part of the whole bunch of cuts that Elon was making recently, and they were telling us all of the nonsense that the money was going to.
Well, if that's the case and Elon's involved, is he going to get transgender mixed up with transgenic? One of the smartest people in the world, Elon Musk?
Sorry, I'm not sure. What did you ask me?
I'm saying, would he get transgender mixed up with transgenic? Elon Musk?
I don't know, but Trump said it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying to you. What does that mean? It doesn't mean that he stopped the research. Or you just want me to comment on the fact that he said something stupid?
Yeah, and then obviously
he's done that before.
It led to people now running it like it was fact.
What area of life have we not seen that happen? The pastors that you people go and see every Sunday, sometimes they say something stupid. Their mom say something stupid. Your teacher say something stupid. You know what I'm saying? We've seen him say stupid things before. Remember the whole bleach and COVID? What does that mean? Does it mean he's also wrong by everything else? This is the metric we go by? Come on, guys.
So,
gotta do better.
How come you moved to saying, like, Elon Musk didn't say that he's one of the smartest men in the world?
No, because
you don't think that Trump is smart?
No, because you mentioned his department. Is this the area where they're cutting the funding and stuff, innit? The Doge department.
Yeah.
And Elon Musk is heading that, I believe. So what I was basically saying
that
is
maybe that's where this particular case came from. And Trump, has now given an example of the absurd spending, and he's used this one, right? But I swear, yesterday, the young, intelligent Samuel was saying how astute of a businessman this guy is, you know?
Yeah, because he is.
Yeah, fair.
How many people do you know has got billions like him? How many people you know went bankrupt, lost billions, and made billions back? Let's give credit where it's due. Let's not be silly here.
Yeah.
Because the average person can't do that. That person will cry, go and jump off a building.
Yeah.
Then go on to become the leader of the world twice. Come on, let's give credit. If you don't like him, you don't like him. If he says stupid things, he says stupid
you do
things.
think he's smart?
Of course. When it comes to business, of course he is.
Okay.
Of course he is.
Okay. Cool.
Of course. You can either look up to him or look up to somebody who's got far less than him. It's a no-brainer. Who's got more?
There are
we have
other
to be
examples of men, businessmen who you could look up to, 100%.
Of course.
All right.
But you can also look up to one of the richest people in the world too, who's
I'm not
lost
looking-
it all and came back.
I'm never looking up to Trump.
You don't have to.
Because Kanye West is also one of the richest billionaires,
Yeah?
black billionaires.
Yeah, but you're not looking at Kanye as business. You may look up to him as an
You
amazing producer.
don't rate him as a businessman?
I don't know about his business acumen like that.
You
But I
don't know about his business acumen?
like that, no.
You know about Trump's, but you don't know about Kanye's?
Because Trump, his whole thing is business. He's been in retail for decades. Kanye obviously might be a good businessman in terms of promotion, in terms of the things he's got involved in, Adidas, Yeezys, all them sort of things there, 100%. But we know him as a musician.
Can
So
you
even if
remember
you hate
Trump University
Kanye,
being like a scam?
Trump University?
Yes.
No, I don't know about that.
You don't know about that?
No.
A massive scam. Did you watch the documentary where the majority of businesses that he had set up was off the back or of the foundation of lying to banks?
You mean what people every day do now? Do you know what they're doing? What people do?
You are crediting him as one of the most successful businessmen around.
Yes.
Smartest, right?
100%.
And I'm now telling you it's
I don't know about
fraud.
smartest, but
I'm
one of the
telling
most
you
efficient.
it's through fraud. And you're saying, but everybody does it?
That's just technicalities. How
All right,
many
fair,
people?
fair,
How
fair.
many people?
I don't know why I've introduced. I didn't want to rally you up. I honestly didn't want to
There are
rally you
people
up.
out there who trying to get property. Say I can manage the funds. So what they do? They change up the pay slip. They do more overtime for the last 3 months so that it looks a particular way. And everyone does certain things. You write certain things on your CV. What he was doing essentially was going to the bank with a business CV and saying, "This is what I can do. This is the money I have."
I apologize.
Come on, man. Like, again, the guy's not infallible. The guy makes stupid mistakes. He says stupid things every now and again. But in the things he does well, just say he does well. Just leave it alone.
I apologize.
The man's been bankrupt how many times and come back?
I apologize.
Come on, man. Black people, we got to do better, man.
Sorry.
We can't be so emotional.
Sorry.
You don't have to like him.
Sorry. But he's stupid.
Anyway.
He's stupid for basically saying they were turning mice into transgenders.
100%.
Very stupid.
And I said that about the whole thing. Remember the bleach and the COVID thing? Remember that? How insane is that? Like, you find him saying silly things almost every day.
How come you just discounted what's the one time one guy? One person guy?
Terrence Howard.
Yeah. How come you discounted everything else he did because of that one time?
Because that's insane. That's
but
insane.
This is not insane?
No, it's not as bad as one times
And
one.
the bleach isn't insane?
Not as bad as one times one.
All right, fair. I mean, you have
Nothing is as bad as one times
yeah,
one.
you
being
have your
two.
metric. You have your metric.
No. That should be this is the problem. Because we have 1 times 1 equaling 2 in people's minds. People was trying to tell me it can make sense.
Sorry.
No, but you remember, people was trying to tell me it can make sense.
Sorry.
These are the people who have no.
Sorry.
Let me
and
not
the
even
people
go.
you're talking about is
Because I'll
Marx.
start talking.
The people you're talking about is Marx.
Marx is one of them. You was one of them. People in the chat was one of them.
What did you just say?
You was one of them.
What was I saying?
1 times 1.
What did you say? I was saying.
I did a Trump.
Wow.
But you was giving them leeway for the other bollocks. You know what I'm saying?
But you just did the same thing.
As Trump, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we all do it.
You
That's the
telling
point.
me I was giving leeway. You just did the same thing.
For who?
For Trump.
That's the point I'm making. We all do it. We all do it. But when it's somebody that you don't like, it's the worst thing in the world. Use the same metric across the board, guys. That's all.
I think you should take your own advice.
Huh?
I think you should take your own advice. If it is you're cancelling Terrence because of that, you should also cancel Trump.
I don't think it's the same
Transgender
thing.
mice.
I don't think it's okay. All right. Put it this way. Terrence Howard.
Oh my gosh.
No, but the thing is, it doesn't sound as stupid though. Do you know why? Because we know that right now, trigger warning, guys. People can take certain drugs and hormones and stuff to change their gender, right? In a particular context in this world. So, and a lot of the tests that we do on human beings, a lot of the things that we experience and we take on, a lot of the scientists do tests on mice. So it didn't sound as far-fetched. I can understand why people believed it. But he obviously got his information wrong and sounds stupid now. But in no universe, in no space or time, should anyone say that 1 unit times another unit equals 2. When you do that and you come in front of the world and act as though you got something else to tell me, I have to say, respectfully, go home. Because the basics is diabolical. Something needs to go on here and change. The brain needs to be monitored immediately. You know what I'm saying? That's different to me. And if we can't sort out one, aren't 5-year-olds doing 1 times 1? 5-year-olds. Come on now, you can't be 40 plus and telling me 1 times 1 is equal to 2. And grown people who've got families trying to bloody defend the guy. Come on now.
Why don't you have this energy for Marx?
For who?
Marx, when he was...
If Marx was here, I would say the same thing.
No, why didn't you? Because Marx said he could see it.
I said exactly this. Go back to the episode.
No, you didn't screw up your face like how you're screwing up your...
No, because you're bringing it back again. At the time, in the moment, it was slash funny. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You don't want to try it. Hey guys, check out Pen Game. You know what I'm saying? Big up Marx, Pen Game. Come on, man. We gotta do better. 1 times 1 will never equal 2. No matter what they tell you. But there might be trash. This guy. All right, people, welcome to Reaction. I'm just going to read out some of the games that's going to be on the weekend. So, tomorrow, Nottingham Forest is going to be taking on Man City. Brighton's going to be taking on Fulham. Crystal Palace versus Ipswich. Liverpool's going to be taking on Southampton. Brentford's going to be taking on Aston Villa. And Wolverhampton Wanderers is going to be taking on Everton. On Sunday, Chelsea's going to be taking on Leicester. Tottenham's going to be taking on Bournemouth. And the big game at Old Trafford, Man United's going to be taking on Arsenal. How's Arsenal going to do, man, Brent? Away.
Wait a minute. Black Rob said he's going to put articles in the Discord proving that they were trying to turn the frogs gay.
Okay.
I swear that there's certain species of frogs that are intersex, or they don't have any sex whatsoever.
Maybe.
Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Vaguely?
Not really.
No? Let me Google it.
Not really.
Google it.
But I don't doubt it, though. Yeah, but that's them existing as that is different to people trying to mess up let me not say mess up, change the chemical balance in certain cells and make them something that they're not, though. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But yeah, that's what's happening. Whilst Brent's looking for that, yeah, for the boxing fans out there, you find it?
Frogs change sex even in natural settings.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are they doing?
Frogs can mysteriously reverse their sex.
Reverse?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Big up them.
Frog populations in decline due to sex changes.
How to serious?
Yeah.
In decline, you know.
Anyway, I'm waiting for the... Why do LGBTQ plus people like frogs so much? What the hell?
You said that?
I don't know who likes frogs. None of my gay friends like frogs.
Oh,
I
man.
know what they do like, though.
Don't do it. Don't. This is terrible.
Oh, man. I love having all these people in my life, man.
Same.
I got license, bro. And I love them all equally because Jesus said, Jesus Christ, and I have to love him, and I love him dearly.
Oh, man.
Anywho,
yes.
Yeah. Something stupid might happen. Then again, like something regular might happen. It's United. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. After winning 7-1,
exactly,
you can come and do a stupidness. But I'm still going into the game confident, even though we have no strikers, we have no attackers. I'm still confident.
Okay. By the way, who was scoring them goals like on that 7-1?
Odegaard.
Was Havertz playing?
No, he's injured.
Okay.
Waneri, Trossard, Marino. Who else scored? Timber. Quite a few of them, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering who's gonna basically step up for this game, you know, on Sunday, man. But yeah.
But the league's over anyway, so still inconsequential.
All right. Well, the last bit of news I wanted to.
Calafiori scored too.
Okay, don't know who that is, but
yeah, I know you don't. You're not an Arsenal fan.
You know what? Before I'd fight you on it, but now I'll be honest with you,
Just
I don't know much,
man. Just call it.
Cause the disrespect that Mr. Wenger got, Brent, I just didn't like it, man. And I didn't like, obviously, that we were losing all the time, innit? So I thought, nah, the heartache is too much. Too much. But anyway, onto should I say better news? You know what? On the surface, it sounds amazing. So what's happening now is, guys, and this is big news in boxing. So TKO Group Holdings, right? They own.
this.
Okay. So they own UFC. They own WWE, right? They've launched a new boxing promotion that's backed by the investment of the Saudis, Turkey Al Sheikh. Now, as you guys know, Riyadh season, all them amazing cards. You know, every 6 months I come back and say to you, the best card ever. Yes. Turkey Al Sheikh is the guy who's been bankrolling all of them things in Saudi, innit? And even, I think he did one here as well. Can't remember. Anyway, amazing cards. Obviously, the Saudis got money. And they are financing this particular thing. Now, what is it exactly that they're financing? Essentially, what it's going to be is a boxing league. A boxing league. So people are not too sure about the actual mechanics of it, how it's going to work, right? The logistics yet. But based on the way these men were talking in their press conference, it's looking like they're coming for everyone. No one is safe. Boxing promoters are not safe. Sanctioning bodies are not safe. All them belts, everybody is done with. This is what it sounds like they're saying. Now, at first, it might have seemed like, okay, cool. It's just a boxing league. I'm not too sure if you guys know about, you know, them shows, I can't remember what they're called now, but where they get like some decent boxers. It's like a reality type show. And the boxers are fighting each other and show you how they live, all that sort of stuff. And you see like kind of decent, good boxers. They're professionals and whatnot, but they're obviously not elite. So in my head, I was thinking it might be one of those things where it's just a league of some really good boxers, but they are a step below the ones that we would pay to see on TV. But it's looking like it might not be that. In fact, because what Dana White, I believe, was saying that this league will be a mixture of prospects, but also big-time boxers. So there's some talk that they might start this come September. First fight being Crawford and Canelo, as in the first fight of that particular league. Again, this might just be people getting excited and just talking too much at the moment, but it's looking crazy. So they'll basically do away with the WBA, WBO, WBC, IBF, everything.
And they could do it probably now.
Yeah. It'll be like the UFC. There'll be one belt for every weight class.
That.
You know what I'm saying? Not Tank over there and this guy over there talking about unifying and then everyone doesn't fight each other and then you get undisputed 10 years later when people are done. No. And maybe this might have been a move that Turkey Al Sheikh was trying to make when he bought Ring Magazine. So that's another belt that people care about, right? The whole institution of Ring Magazine is sick. He owns that now, right? And, there's even a clip of Canelo basically doing a face-off with the guy who's going to be fighting in May. Oh, what's his name? I don't know, mess up his name. Black brother. William Skull, I believe it is. Yeah. And Turkey Al Sheikh standing in between them, holding the belts that Canelo obviously has got, right? And I think he gives him the WBA or something and the IBF. He's about to give him the WBC. He says, nah, I don't want that one. Leave that over there. He's just left it. That is a big sign right there that he's not interested in none of these guys. All these sanctioning bodies, all of these belt people, yeah, he's saying, nah, done with it. Thank you, Ed. Prize Fighter series. So you know where the prospects were basically fighting, trying to get certain things, and yeah. So yeah, essentially what they're trying to say, what it seems like it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be similar to the UFC, that sort of model. To be fair, it's still all speculation, but it looks like it's going to be a legit league where the best fight the best. You know what I'm saying? The best fight the best. If you keep that belt, you are taking on real competition.
That's all we wanted.
That's all it is. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? When Israel Adesanya was fighting, he was fighting the best. He kept hold of the belt. When John Jones was fighting, he kept hold of the belt. You know what I'm saying? People can't hold the belt and just chill somewhere. No disrespect to Canelo. I love Canelo. But he can't be turning down fights. You know what I'm saying? Big fights. Wilder can't be turning down fights. AJ Fury can't be running from fights. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've got to fight to keep your belt. And this is what it's looking like. Now, when I heard this, yeah, I'll be honest with you, I thought it was amazing, but a big part of me was thinking, what about the longevity of the fighters? Because obviously, don't get me wrong, obviously, they're there to fight, innit? But a lot of the average fighter fights twice a year. Isn't the greatest, but they fight twice a year. If you're fighting top competition like this all the time, I don't think the average career will last that long, you know? I don't think so. And maybe that's the wrong thing to talk about. I don't know, but in my head, I'm just feeling like it's going to be a lot of punishment, a lot of work for these guys. Hopefully they get paid a lot more, given that they don't have to deal with certain belts as well. Because imagine right now, yeah, to be ranked by a particular belt, to say, yeah, I want to be on the WBC ranking, I have to pay them, you know. I, as a boxer, have to pay just to be on their list and to be ranked. Otherwise, I just can't be there. You know what I'm saying? It's insane. Like, the way they've just monopolized and really taken advantage of certain boxers and favored certain boxers and just messed up the sport. So this is something that PBC, some people say PBC tried. PBC, to some degree, tried it, but more in a incognito, stealth sort of way, because they were just trying to get all the best boxers and just fight in-house. They never declared war on the rest of boxing and said, we're going to start our own league. They more so was just fighting amongst themselves, if that makes sense. Enobo says, are boxing belts like footy leagues? No, I wouldn't say they're like footy leagues, you know, because in any particular league, yeah, if you're talking European, then I guess it would be, innit? No, it's not the same. It's not the same. Because with the football leagues, right, you've got only the Brits playing against each other in the in the Premier League, and it's only them or whatever it may be. But at least they all play against each other. But none of them conduct another league, if that makes sense. So they would always play Bayern Munich or whatever it may be in the Champions League or in the Europa Cup. There's that crossing where it makes sense. But in this, essentially what this would be like having the Champions League, I think. I think maybe that's the best way to kind of, I'm not too sure, like, it's different. It's definitely something new that's in boxing, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these belts have been there since the 60s and even longer, you know what I'm saying? Like WBA, BO, I believe, since the 60s, and you had the 80s and 90s, the IBF and the other one comes in. So they want to go back to the days with Jack Johnson where there's just one belt. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Jack Dempsey and them guys, just one belt. And so yeah, it's looking good, man. Hopefully it will be good. And yeah, it works out, man. But people are thinking, how are the guys like Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren going to respond to this? Because essentially that kind of really takes away their business. You know what I'm saying? It may turn them into glorified agents. You know what I mean? That's all you'll be doing, just representing fighters. You won't be putting on events, nothing. Everything will be handled by TKO. So what are you good for? Don't get me wrong, Eddie Hearn, obviously Matchroom, they do darts and they do snooker, I believe. Frank Warren, I'm not too sure what he does with Queensberry, but it would change the dynamics of boxing. You know what I'm saying? Oscar De La Hoya and them guys, and even PBC, Al Heyman. It will change the dynamic of boxing. It really would. So it's interesting. It's very interesting. Yeah, we'll see what happens, and I'll keep you guys updated on it once we get more information. But this is definitely something that's going to be good for us as consumers. Just like the UFC, this is the reason why years back people was moving to the UFC. I think UFC's kind of changed now. It's not like it was, let's just say 5 years ago. But hopefully, yeah, we get that sort of feeling again where we know unequivocally that the best will always fight the best. Otherwise, the belts will be taken from them. You know what I'm saying? We need to have an official ranking. It can't be down to debate. It's down to what happened in that ring. So yeah, anyway, I won't keep going on about that. That's pretty much it for the reaction, Brent. Let's get into the wrap-up. All right, people, it's been an amazing show. Happy Friday to every Friday. What? Happy Friday to everybody. It's been an amazing show. Today we spoke about some potential rumors of a split in the Reform Party. I wonder what's going to happen there. Will Nigel Farage leave like he did with UKIP? Who knows? We'll see, man. We also spoke about Trump pausing the tariffs. So does this prove what Samuel was saying yesterday? That he's only using it as a leveraging tool, because at the end of the day, he doesn't really want to do it. This is the second time he's kind of relaxed the threats on the tariffs. You know what I'm saying?
I watched a video that talked about that, and they said that the economy is tanking.
Well, in America?
So maybe that's why he's arrested his plans. Yes, in America.
Maybe it might be that. I mean, I don't think it would be because of that. I think he would have known that there would be an effect on the economy with this. He would have known that. You know what I'm saying? But I think long term, he thinks it's better for America. I disagree with him, but I think long term, he thinks that. But he would have anticipated some crashes in the stock market and in the economy, at least in the now. But so I don't think it's necessarily because of that. I actually don't think he wants it to be this way. But again, I have no idea. We shall see what happens, man. But yeah, we also spoke about Russia striking energy targets in Ukraine, and Zelensky's basically saying to the world he's hopeful to have some meaningful talks with America. For today's topic of the day, we spoke about it being acceptable or not acceptable, unacceptable, to be called a racial slur in the bedroom. You know what I'm saying? Are there certain things, certain kinks that's just a kink, and because it's a kink, it's allowed regardless of what it is? Or there's certain taboos that's forever a taboo, and a racial slur, being called a racial slur, is one of them. We spoke about the plan to ban smartphones in schools being scrapped by the MPs. I don't know why. Maybe you guys think it's a good thing, but this is what the government thinks makes sense. We spoke about the post office scandal victim who was offered a payout after death. It's people really taking advantage. And trigger warning, we spoke about the Nigerian senator who was suspended after accusing the Senate president of sexual harassment. When I saw that headline, I just thought, what? This is why we say what we say about Nigeria. This is the reason why we say certain things. You know what I'm saying? They don't come from nowhere. We also spoke about the asking for a friend. You guys, the cake maker and the girlfriend maker. The girlfriend maker, that guy who wants to make every girl his friend. Listen, I hear you. I like the fact that you know today's mathematics. I ain't going to go too hard because of that. But come on, man. You got to fix up, man. The cake maker, big up you. You know what? See it as a violation for real. Just so that you can make the right steps going forward in life. Don't find yourself in this position again. You know what I'm saying? It's not good. And we also spoke about the animal, the triple killer who was guilty of raping his ex-partner during a fatal crossbow and knife attack. And we spoke about Sudan and how they've accused the UAE of genocide complicity in Darfur. There's been rumblings about that. A lot of people knew that was a proxy war anyway. So for them to actually come out and actually claim is a good thing. We'll look into that. Yeah. And also we gave you the fixtures and the reaction, and we spoke to you guys about TKO and the plans they've got, Turkey Al-Sheikh and Dana White. Brent, anything else you want to add?
Thank you very much for rocking with us this week. Thank you for being patient. Thank you guys for being true. We love you. We love you. We will see you next week. We hope you have a blessed weekend full of joy, peace, and love.
Share a video, guys. We're on the road to 10K.
We are on the road. And I put up a video on Instagram Go and check it out. It's the last of the series. I'm not putting out anymore because I ain't got no time to do that. Plus, we got other things to announce very soon. Go and check it out. Go and like it. Go and share it. TMB's on the road. We are going places. Anywho, love you all.
Peace.